Silent John incremental, another silent instrumental, the nerd rap existential. People compare me to MC Christopher a lot, but the fact is I predict it with significance. I'm the oldest geek rapper by far, save K&R. Compiling kernels, open bracket, cause I racket. And my teen nerds throw your laser pen in the air and wave it all around like you had no repercussions. Now follow instructions, Professor. Why these discussions consist of nothing but incoherent rambling and babbling, but you just still take notes cause you never know what's happening. I'll drop a little nugget, a tidbit if you will. There were 4 United States presidents named Bill. Really? If you run out of hit points, the game will shout.
Your life force is running out.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life, yeah. Let me start again, put it on like a cardigan, swinging like my name was Mad Mardigan. Which reminds me, Warwick Davis was Willow and a knee walk. Leonard Nimoy was Galvatron and Spock. That ain't typecast, I don't know what it is. Talk about predestiny, nobody gets the best of me. I've only played one role my whole lifetime. The nerd lifeline, stream through a wicked pipeline. So no one can buy mine, cause mine is original. And I write rhymes to burn on a CD, play in the mini V. Soccer mom, yodel back, yodel at little me. I got a sidekick, I gotta stay connected. Watch out for my decom or you'll get infected. And you don't wanna be one of my bots, cause I see it all like Saw on the Cyclops. And I won't hesitate to drop your whole net block if you're acting up and you're dumber than a pet rock. I'm about this nerd life, as you can see, spreading like a virus on MP3. On MP3. STC. Shoutouts to Vic, Agnostic One, up in Silent John. Yeah. Nerd life, graphing calculator, HP48G. The G is for gangster. Digital shit, yeah. You know how we do.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. And as you can see, I'm joined by my usual crew and a special guest we have there in the bottom right corner, Mr. Top Loaded Gamer. What's up, fellas?
Yo, what's up?
We're going to have a big show. We always have a big show around here. We're going to be talking G4 laying off people. We're going to talk a little bit about the Intellivision Amico. There's a little bit of news. She-Hulk episode 5, we got to go over that. Cobra Kai season 5 was amazing. We're going to talk about that. Of course, Gary's going to come in later and tell us about an indie spotlight. If he's not here, we'll just talk about one without him. And we got some remaster news, as Suikoden 1 and 2 are going to get a remaster. Plus, some Saudi prince wants to make Arabia like the hub of gaming by 2030. So we're going to discuss that, along with the polls and other things. But before we get into that, we got to find out how these fine gentlemen's days were. Blinded, why don't you kick us off? How was your day? How was your week?
Pretty good. Got to watch the new Cyberpunk anime, which was okay. Finishing up the Splatoon single player, and week's pretty average. Go to the gym, work, do some stuff. Nothing exciting.
So what did you do to the theme here that I can't display people's names?
What do you mean?
Yeah, something that you did fucked it up. I don't see any people's. You know how it usually shows the name of everybody?
Oh, it should be there.
It's not.
You just gotta like toggle it. I'm not on my thing.
You did toggle
laptop. I'm not on my laptop, so I can't do it.
All the shit that you've been messing with behind the scenes.
Yes, behind the scenes. No, it should still. Hold on, I'll hop on my laptop and fix it. But continue.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay then.
Bob, coming in late. How was your week been, Bob?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Been pretty busy. Just been yeah, I started my exercise club on Wednesday. I kind of killed my legs for a few days. I built my PC today. That's about it.
What kind of PC did you build?
A good one. I got an i7 12th gen and a 3060, 32 gigs of RAM, so it's pretty sweet.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Damn, 3060.
Yeah. I'll upgrade at some point. I want to see what happens with the 40 series and if the 3070s or 3060 Ti's drop in price. But I just wanted something for now.
Nice.
Haunted Wisp says, does it got that new PC smell?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And of course, our special guest here, Top Loaded Gamer. How's your week been?
That's been fun. You know, doing stuff with the family, playing video games. It's nice having 7 days off. You know, where you got whatever you want to do. You know.
You had 7 whole days off?
Yeah, that's how it works. I work 7 days straight, then I get 7 days off.
I don't know. Fuck
Pretty
the 7
nice.
days straight working. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The weekends suck, man. It's not enough.
I'll take my 2.5 days off every week. Thank you very much.
Hey, if it works for you, it's all good. I have a choice in the field we have here, and I've always preferred 7 and 7. I like it.
I guess you got to get used to it, right? I feel like I would waste my week. Like my 7 would.
There's guys that do like 28 and 14 and 3 months on and 3 months off, 3 months on and a month and a half off. There's all kind of schedules out here where I'm at.
Fuck.
Damn.
And of course, y'all want to know how my week's been. No one. All right. I guess
Yeah,
we'll move
yeah. I want to hear. I want to hear.
Yeah, go
for
ahead.
it.
It's been really amazing, as always. I've been working behind the scenes to get some more stuff done, contacting some developers, trying to schedule some interviews, getting some people that we've had on the show in the past to come back. I'm working towards a big show for Christmas once again. Last year we had a whole bunch of people submit videos and stuff. I'm trying to get more people this year, some more bigger names, some more smaller names. Trying to get everybody, to participate. Beyond that, just been living life. There was some sort of controversy this week or something about the show going family friendly, and that is furthest from the truth. We are not going family friendly. Some changes have been made to facilitate a better show, a better flow of things, to make my life easier and not have to deal with certain things outside of YouTube. But beyond that, the show is going to be just like it always is. We will be off the chain, unscripted, uncensored, just normal, like always. So anyone who had any worries that the show was going to change or that I was going to start kicking people out for saying things in the chat or something, none of that is going to happen. That is completely false. It is twisting my words, twisting what I said is for the reason of a certain person being banned. And once again, no hard feelings over that. It is what it is. So with that said, and because I know that Trevor came here to talk one specific topic, we're going to go ahead and end this intro and just get right into it. After saying hello to everybody. What's up, Mr. Beefy? We got 1 inch biceps. Tommy Amico. Voltaire is here. Voltaire was very upset with me I think it was last night or the night before. He didn't like the good things I said about Frosk when I was on Max's channel. Haunted Wisp, but what's up? Of course, we got Logical Raptors Fanatic. He says that's Mike G. It's his new persona. Finbar Saunders
Mike
came.
G in a while.
And we got Max Lenards showed up early. He was the first one here. It's false. I try to get banned and I can't. Yeah, exactly.
I see someone asking if I'm a sailor. No, I work in the oil field. So close. I mean, there's a lot of people that work on the boat. I work on boats from time to time, but I don't leave the shore.
Evil Knievel's here too. He says, I'm sorry, my alcoholism just makes things worse. I just want to make things better so we can all get along. No problem. I'm used to dealing with drunk people. I am Mexican after all. I have a big family. All right. That said, let's get into this very controversial topic. G4 laid off a shit ton of people. I think it was like they said like 30%, maybe more.
Yeah, it's a lot. They've definitely gone down to a skeleton crew.
And one of the people that didn't get laid off was our friend Frosk. And she
Of
tweeted
course.
about it.
Yeah, she couldn't wait.
To be fair, to play devil's advocate on the whole thing, did we think that they were going to actually lay off the on-camera people?
No, but
No, the on-air
they should've.
talent usually never gets laid off.
I thought they did.
We-
I thought they did lay off some on-air talent.
You know what? I haven't really looked into it, so they might have.
Well, I know. I watched Vito's video, and Vito was saying something about it was just Gerard, the completionist guy, and who's the main guy that was on back in the day? I didn't have G4 when I was growing up, so
Adam Sessler?
yeah.
Yeah, but they pay Adam Sessler in Coke, so it's okay.
Well, as far as he knew, and he said in his video, it was just them two. So Frost tweeting it out, that makes 3 as far as I've heard. But I mean, of course, Vito's not the end all be all. I haven't looked into who survived either. Just as far as I know, it's basically them 3 so far as I had heard.
Yeah,
But that could
like
be
I
totally
said,
wrong.
her whole tweet set up another little mini controversy. We'll take a look at her tweet real quick because people were very upset about this. They're like, "How dare she? How dare she?" A woman make a tweet. Says, "Frost," and this is her official account. Says, "Let's play some games, yo. I survived." And it's got a lizard with the little glasses and crown, smoking a blunt. I didn't think it was that bad. I heard some people were complaining. What do you think about this, gentlemen? Is this insensitive?
I think it's not very empathetic to, I imagine that a lot of these people, had her back through this whole situation. When she gave her little speech that, divided everybody. I think a lot of people had her back, and the fact that, she just couldn't wait to get her one up over everybody, that she didn't think for 1 second, I probably shouldn't do this. So yeah, I mean, I think it's insensitive to the people that have no idea where their next check's coming from.
She's this is gonna age like milk. She's gonna get fired soon. That's my guess. Her takes are just horrid. Yeah, even beside that whole rant, which I didn't really care. I just think that she's just like a really crazy Xbox fanboy. It's like, bro, you just like corporate cheerleading. It's like, I don't mind if you like Xbox, but like you can't just be making up straight up lies about the competition. Like she lies about Nintendo and Sony like crazy. It's like, damn, what did they do to you?
Oh, so she's like a mini Tommy.
Yeah. Just like corporate cheerleading, fanboy. It's fucking annoying.
She doesn't get things right. She doesn't really do her due diligence when she tries to speak on something, and it gets her in trouble. And somehow, because she'll say something that's not true and she gets called on it, that's like misogyny or whatever. And I'm not buying it. You're in this role, the work you put in is you get what you put in it, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I'm just surprised that like it's not a persona. Like this is actually who she is, which is like kind of the part that's annoying, because it's like you would go on Twitter and you would call her out and then she's ready to fucking like, if she could, she would fucking ban you from Twitter. That's how fucking rabid she is.
Damn, it's like that. What do you think, Bob? You've been quiet.
I don't really know this person or the site, so I mean, it's just not a good look anyway. It's just throwing. It's a bit shady to her co-workers who've lost their jobs.
Now, do you think that this came just out of the blue? You know, no reason for it. She just did it. Or do you think perhaps with everybody making videos and assuming that she probably got laid off or talking shit about her after they heard about the layoffs, do you think this is her response to that?
Probably a bit column
Yeah.
A and column B.
I think it's the latter. I think she like I said, she likes pissing off people on Twitter. Sometimes, rightfully so. Other times it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I mean, if you just go look on YouTube in the last week for all the G4 layoffs, her picture is front and center in every video about the layoffs, whether it's a Review Tech USA, a Yellow Flash, a Drunk 3PO, Clownfish, all these people are putting her as the face. And I'm pretty sure that they've said things like, she deserves to be laid off. She should have got laid off with them. So I don't see this as being insensitive to the people that got laid off. I see this more as talking shit to the people who've talked shit to her.
Yeah,
hey,
definitely.
you're all on YouTube talking shit about how I should get laid off, or
I mean
I'm going to get laid off.
That is how I see it, but the difference is I see it at the expense of the people who got laid off, and she didn't even think about that at all. I mean, were you in that position? Would you have done that?
Oh, me personally, yes.
I don't think
I
I could
know
have.
that 100%.
I don't think I could have, because I'm imagining, all these other people that I've been, in a camp with, like, yeah, I'm so happy you said that, blah, 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 blah. Everything you said was true, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. We got you back, whatever. But it goes sideways and, I get laid off as a result. I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way, man.
Well, I'm looking and I'm seeing at least a couple of people that were either current or former G4 employees that have liked the tweet. So,
yeah, this seems more like stirring the pot.
I mean, she definitely couldn't wait to do it. That's for sure. And
well, that's not true because let's be fair here. The layoffs were reported on the 14th. This tweet is from the 15th. So she at least waited a day. Like if it was like same day they got laid off, I'd be like, yeah, she couldn't wait. She was just so adamant. But I'm sure laid off, people made videos, then she made the tweet. Pretty sure that's the timeline of events.
Okay. I mean, she waited a day. All right. That's fair. She waited a day. But I'm sure it killed her waiting a day.
Might have. Like Voltaire said, she's trolling the haters for sure, but it's still insensitive. Like I said, I think I don't know the people that work there. She does, and I don't know. Maybe she talked to them behind the scenes, or she knows that they would understand that it's not aimed at them. I understand the optics and public perception on things. To me, I don't know. I'm an asshole. I would have done it myself. But let's get to the article that we got here. Huge layoffs spell trouble for channel's return. Troubling Waters is from Philip Watson, my fault, from Backlot Magazine. It says G4 layoffs were announced this week, which derailed their streaming schedule yesterday in a big way and may mean trouble for the newly revived channel. Longtime fans of G4 have felt this before between the years 2010 and 2014, when the technology channel led by original programs X-Play and Attack of the Show slowly decayed until the final death knell on November 30th, 2014. Yesterday's last-minute cancellation of all G4 streams, as announced on Twitter, has led to major G4 layoffs, according to a Kotaku report. There's a tweet that says, due to unforeseen circumstances, all G4 streams today have been canceled, but we will return with all of our regularly scheduled content tomorrow. So, if this tweet is to be believed, I don't watch the channel, so you guys are going to have to help me out on whether or not this is true. But if all their regularly scheduled content still came out, I'm assuming that none of the on-air talent must have got let go, or at least, at least one person from each show or each program or whatever the fuck it is that they do is still there to carry on, right?
Yeah, I'm just really not sure. Really unsure on that. I definitely think most of it probably is the people who ran the show, the people that were responsible for, behind the scenes. A lot of people, maybe got laid off, so they didn't have anybody to run it for them and troubleshoot and do all that stuff. I'm definitely thinking that is a factor on why they
No one to
couldn't
hold
do
the
the
cameras.
show and hold cameras. I'm sure they do a lot of moderation and, uh, a mic's not working or they have techs and all that stuff. And I'm
Sessler's on a
sure it
coke
was
binge
also
again.
chaos as well. So it's understandable why they wouldn't be able to, do everything that day.
Yeah. All right. So the report suggests that 25 to 30 of the G4 staff population of around 200 has been laid off. So 30 people out of 200, that's only about 15%. I don't know why it was reported that was like 30%. People bad at maths, I guess. And Kotaku reports one employee stated, "I truly cannot imagine the company continuing to produce our slate of content without the people we lost today," regarding the G4 layoffs. Well, from my understanding, their content wasn't bringing anybody in, so not being able to make that content and having to make different content might be for the benefit of the company. Excuse me. It says the employees who have been released will reportedly also receive anywhere between 16 weeks and 6 months of severance. Oh, that's fucking nice. Depending on employee service time with the parent company Comcast. The reports of layoffs come before the channel's first birthday since relaunching, which brought old G4 talent into the new era, with newer internet talent such as YouTuber Gerard the Completionist, Cully, producing content with original X-Play host Adam Sessler. Crazy Adam Sessler. This comes off on the heels of former G4 TV Revival president Russell Aarons leaving the network to be replaced by CEO Joe Marsh of T1, an esports division of the Comcast company. While not being directly named president, they took over most of the presidential duties of Aarons. The Kotaku report alleges Marsh was brought in to cut costs above all else, the source mentioned allege. And there has been an outpouring of support on Twitter as well from the industry regarding the G4 layoffs, with personalities like associate editor of Game Informer LeBlanquise saying, "My heart goes out to everyone at G4. Layoffs fucking suck, and I'm tired of seeing them happen in this industry. I hope you all land on your feet quickly," and others echoing the sentiment across the platform. For now, it remains to be seen whether G4 will pull through this messy scenario. The troubled waters the channel now faces come right before the November 16th first birthday of the revived channel. Fans will have to wait and see what happens next, and following the official G4 TV Twitter can help fans be in the loop. So what do you guys think? Do you think that they are going to survive?
No.
Do you think they ever had a chance? Was G4 ever going to be a thing?
Never. Not in the modern day.
Can you elaborate on that, Blinded? Why you might think so? Well,
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry. I mean, I was watching RGT's video on this, and I think he brought up some good points. Where it's just like, in the era of YouTube and social media, we don't really need a G4. You know what I mean? It just seems redundant. It's like there's thousands of YouTubers, including us, who literally make content about games and do commentary about games, right? And sure, they have a bigger production value, but it's not too, you know what I mean? It's not like this is a television narrative show where it's like, oh my God, there's all these special effects and stuff. Like they're on set, they probably have some games that they would play, right? Or they can get bigger talent on, but I mean, it's not, I don't think right now people really care for that. Like they want something like a podcast, you know what I mean? Where people are talking and having a conversation, or people are voicing their opinion on Twitter, right? Where you could just easily read and like, and then move on with your day, so I don't know. I think it's past its time, unfortunately.
What about you, Bob? What do you think? Did they ever have a chance?
No, like it's like that guy with the glasses and Cinemassacre's website. It's just another one of these overblown production houses, really, isn't it? In this day and age, we've got other things, and we've got YouTube and Twitch. We don't really need like big media groups unless they're doing something unique and special or providing a service or something like Linus Tech Tips.
Personally, I think that they could have actually had a big, successful YouTube channel. I think had they looked at what YouTube is and adapted their network to that. I mean, with their resources, their connections, and the wealth of talent that they had contracted, they could have made a go of it. But what they tried to do was take the network TV and jam it into YouTube, right? Like square peg, round hole. And it just doesn't work that way. If they would have followed the model that other people use on YouTube that are successful, you don't need a huge studio. You don't need all this production, all these other things. You just need a dude who has personality. You let them go. Like a Vito. Put Vito up there. Say, hey, talk about some fucking games, Vito. And then let them interview some people. That's where the connections come in. Because I'm sure they could have got developers, big name, people like Kojima and stuff to pop in and say things and talk to them and have conversations. And that would have gotten them views and an audience. Instead, they wanted to do this silly network thing, and it just didn't work. The little bit of clips that I've seen, the show was garbage. And then, of course, the Frosk situation couldn't have helped. Now, what were you guys' feelings on that? Because I know Top Loaded had a lot of feelings about the whole Frosk situation. And that's why he was like, I need to come on your show to tell you why Sexy Frosk was wrong.
I mean, are you asking them or are you asking me?
No, I'm asking you. I'm giving you the floor.
Okay.
Trevor.
All right. So I think, it's possible that they would have failed without Frosk, without her speech. But I think that it cut their legs off no matter what. It hindered them. Absolutely. And I don't think that's conjecture to say when the new president yeeted everything about it from their Twitter, from their YouTube. I think it hurt them. So I don't know. At this point, I feel like unless you're trying to engage in apologetics for Frosk, that's just reality. She shouldn't have said the stuff that she said, at least not on that platform. Everybody gets shit on the internet. And unless you're trying to police the internet, which I think is a mistake, you don't need to go and do that. And it's giving all of these trolls, exactly what they need to just continue. Don't poke the bear. And she poked the bear.
Yeah, I was saying on Twitter in the DM with Top Loaded, I feel like at least some of this Frost situation has come down to the corporate. I think they either together with Frost came up with this plan, came up with it on their own and presented it to her, because everything felt like off. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel like she was just saying something. It felt more like a scripted speech. Like everyone knew this was coming. This was a plan. They sat down like, all right, at this point in the video, in the stream or whatever, you're going to go into this rant about sexism and gaming and Olivia Munn not being eye candy and all that other shit. And the overall message wasn't really wrong, right? I mean, I think we can all admit it. It was. I think it was just the way it was delivered and the way the backlash was handled and everything like that that really hurt.
It was preachy and hypocritical.
I think it was the fact that it was delivered on their show and not on Twitter or not on Frost's own YouTube channel or some other avenue. I think it was a mistake to put it on G4 because you here to, talk about video games, review video games, do funny skits about video games and the like. And I didn't see, anybody making speeches for Gerard or any other member of the crew that no doubt gets hate as well. I think while I agree with you that there was probably some, meeting at some point, I think it was brought on by Frost's complaints. And they were probably pushed to a situation where, okay, well, if you're going to address it, then put together something and then we'll talk about it or whatever. But I think the mistake was addressing it in the first place. No one else addressed anything that they got. So I'm not sure why she needed to address it at all.
I will concede that probably Gerard and the rest of them were getting shit, and they probably had their own issues. And maybe if it was done in more of a, here's all of us bitching and moaning about shit we get type segment, maybe it might have came off better.
Yeah, because it was definitely catered for her. I mean, yeah, she brought up Olivia Munn and the other one. I don't remember her name.
Morgan Webb.
It was more to just add to her point. Even though she was completely wrong and they were there for everybody's enjoyment, eye candy wise.
I think they were a little bit of both.
At times, I'll be fair and say at times they were. That's what they were used for. But other than that point, everything was like catered to like her reactions of, oh, nobody likes me on here. They think I should be more sexy or whatever, and they're making comments about they can't jerk off to me and whatever, and it's just like, dude, let it go in one ear out the other. Are the guys weird, for doing that? Is it whatever, sure. Like but do we need to address it? No. I don't think we do. And apparently the president agrees.
I think maybe if it was, like I said, not on that particular live stream, maybe if they did something separate where they were just talking about like video games and sexism or something, it was like a whole, like you knew what you were getting going into it type situation, and not something out of left field. I think maybe it would have been received just a little bit better. And also, if they would have had somebody, at least a counterpoint saying, hey, hold up, you might be going too far, or you might be including too many people, or, sure, the weirdos are weird, but not everybody's a weirdo, right? Not every criticism is because you're not attractive conventionally. I think maybe that would have softened it. Or if they would have just contacted Olivia Munn and had her on the show as part of the segment, that might have, eased things in a little bit better.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Frost and Olivia would have got into it or something.
Catfight. That would have made a great segment.
I don't know, because it seems like, I don't know. If Olivia didn't agree with everything she would have said, like Frost could have been like, well, then you are just a stripper for these people. That's not what I'm about. And
then Gerard would have pulled out that inflatable pool they got, filled it up with Jello, and be like, ladies, let's see which one of you win, and we could decide if you're just here for sexiness or something.
I just feel like there's times to, discuss stuff like that, and, a show about video games is not the time for it. If they would have made some, particular stream or something like that, maybe. But then again, all you're doing is poking the bear, man. You're saying, hey, it bothers me when you talk about, X, Y, Z. So please don't talk about X, Y, Z. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? Like, I think it's just common sense, man.
That's a fair point. But like I said, I mean, sometimes there are things that you just need to talk about, right? Regardless of what backlash you're going to get, regardless of what people might react. Not talking about it doesn't help the situation. So sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and say, all right, we're gonna talk about it. But you have to understand you have to accept the backlash.
Biting the bullet with. That's what I want. Like, whose money was that? How upset are they? Do they think it was responsible. Obviously, the president is running with that narrative, but is it actually true? I don't know. I don't know because I do feel like it's kind of fair. Like, would they have succeeded on YouTube? It's a different whole
Beast.
different ball game out there right now. And every time you hear about a network like this or whatever, it's uh, reviewers that are plagiarizing their reviews, or they can't play through the tutorial of Cuphead or whatever. You want to rely on a reviewer that can actually play the game to give their opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I think G4 would have benefited from maybe not so much reviewing stuff, but handling like the announcements and, like I said, getting people to come on the show and talk about upcoming games or games that they've worked on, things like that. Give you
Yeah, but I'm
the
saying if they can't actually play the game, or you can't trust them to write anything, how can you trust them to even talk on something? Especially when Frost, is trying to spit out facts about the PlayStation that just aren't true and she's getting wrong, and you know.
like I said, I didn't watch them obviously, so I'm gonna take your word for it.
I mean, did you see that clip? Did you see that clip where they had the skit and they literally just copy Family Guy?
No.
Like the bit with Peter where he stubs his toe and he just sits down on the floor and he rocks back and forth and goes,
Yeah.
ah. They literally did that whole bit on a skit, and it's totally cringe. Like, it wasn't an homage or anything. It was just a straight off rip. I don't know.
What do you think,
It's just
Bob?
bad.
You've been quiet.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping up with this story that much, but it just sounds like she's gone on some rant during a live stream, which was inappropriate. I just agree that maybe they should have done like a public service announcement or done it on another stream. Like if she's got issues with people criticizing the way she looks and stuff. But as Toploaded said, you're just drawing attention to an issue you got a problem with, and it's just gonna, poke the bears and get more of a reaction.
Yeah,
And it's
pretty
like,
much.
what do? They're just streamers and they review games. So
Tommy said, "Did Victor Lucas ever break 5K on his YouTube channel?" I don't think he has. He might not have. Yeah, I think that the company had a chance, had a shot to make something if they would have went into a more YouTube friendly direction. I know some people were laughing when I said they got a wealth of talent, but they had Gerard the completionist. As much as I say Adam Sessler's coked out, people know his name. They're familiar with him. They had the talent backstage as far as editing and doing all that other stuff. So they did have people that could have made a good product. They just didn't, in my opinion. Because like I said, I heard about G4. I was interested when it was like, oh shit, G4 is coming back. And I know a lot of other people were too. It was a little bit of buzz on Twitter. There was people talking. And then no one. After it showed up, everyone was like, oh shit, did you hear like last month G4 came back? So any other final thoughts on this, gentlemen?
No,
I
think
I
we hit the
pretty
points.
much, yeah.
yeah.
Despite what anybody says, Frost is one sexy lady.
Disagreed. Disavow.
I mean, she looks like she would be wild in the sack. That's all I'm saying.
Stop reducing her to just her looks. She doesn't like that.
She likes it. It's her kink. That's why she tells you not to do it, so you do it more.
Well, I guess I'll take off. I'm gonna go get some sleep, I guess, before I head out to work, or get called
Alright.
into work rather. But thanks for having me on again. Nice talking with you fellas.
Anytime
Nice
you want to
talking
come back, anytime you got a thing you want to yell at us about or want to jump in and discuss, just let us know, and we'll have you come on.
Roger that. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
That was the very famous, super popular Top Loaded Gamer. Go check him out. Voltaire says she won't suck you off. That's for sure. How do you know, Voltaire? Have you asked her? Have you gotten that in writing? All right, gentlemen. Have you all watched She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Up to date?
No.
Well, then I guess Bob better close his ears because we're going to be talking She-Hulk episode 5. What we thought. Blinded, you want to give us the recap?
Sure. So this episode was about Titania suing She-Hulk because Titania decided to trademark She-Hulk, right, and sell it as her makeup products, right? So it was called She-Hulk by Titania.
Yeah.
And so Jennifer is obviously trying to, dig into why she trademarked it and if she can obviously get the trademark back because she actually kind of likes the name She-Hulk now, even though in the last couple episodes she really hated the term. So they pretty much go to court. That's sort of the A story. And the B storyline is Pug and Jennifer's friend, who I always forget her name. They are, trying to help her, get a little bit of a style. So they start to track down a superhero sort of costume designer. And so they will go on some hijinks and they have to go to a hidden, what was it? Like a cafe that was undercover. And yes. And so, at the ending of obviously the story, she gets the suit and then she also wins the lawsuit. And that's sort of it. And right at the ending, when she gets the suit, there is a big tease for a certain old hornhead character who I'm pretty sure everybody's excited to see.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it, but
Finbar says episode 5 was total filler, but Daredevil next week, maybe.
It was
did
definitely
feel like filler, but I think it was necessary filler. It was one of those episodes where it's like it moved certain plot points along that you needed, right? She's accepting the name. She's now She-Hulk. You see her get her costume. Because Blinded didn't mention that not only does she get a suit that's going to stretch and fit both Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk, the guy threw in a little extra. And that little extra is going to be her purple
and white outfit.
Yeah.
I have seen that outfit in the promos and it looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
It does.
I was trying to think of how to describe it because it's not exactly a tank top because I think the shorts are part of it. It's like a...
It's kind of like a gym outfit.
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it. Yeah.
And then, like you said, there was a little tease that the guy was doing a costume for Daredevil, which could mean that this is going to be the same Daredevil, at least in some aspects, from the Netflix series. Because this guy's designing a new costume for him, right?
Haven't we already heard some spoilers about this, though? I heard that it is going to be Matt Murdock, the same Daredevil that we know, but he's going to be a bit more comedic in line with the She-Hulk show.
Yeah, well, I think on the show itself, he's going to be more comedic. But they got the new Daredevil show coming out, Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
And people were wondering whether or not this is going to be a continuation from the previous Daredevil or not.
Well, based on what Charlie Cox said, it's kind of the same character, but it's not the same character. So we'll have to see what he means by that. And I think based on what we got with Hawkeye, in that show, Kingpin obviously appears. He was a dramatically different character, right? Like it's not even the same character, like in my opinion, because he was very goofy, very campy, more, I guess,
Finbar's...
Sorry. Read Finbar's comment. That's okay.
I was gonna say Finbar said that he disagrees. Disagree with Tony. This is his first suit. I believe he's never suited up before in this continuity. I disagree with Finbar because the guy who was making the suits was very adamant that he doesn't make suits for just anybody, right?
Yeah.
And if Daredevil was unknown, there would be no way for Daredevil to have contacted this guy and be like, hey, you don't know who I am. I'm not a superhero yet, but can you build me a suit? So this feels more like Daredevil has been Daredevil. He's known, at least well enough known, that the guy would be willing to make a new suit for him, in my opinion.
I also think that the reason why he has a new suit is because it might be a hint, and this is what I've been saying, is that they're going to do the Mark Waid run. And so obviously in the Mark Waid one, he goes to San Francisco and he sort of has this new identity. So if he has a new identity, he can have like a new kind of suit, which is more in line with the Jack Kirby and Stan Lee version of Daredevil. So that's just my theory.
There could be now. Season 1 of Daredevil on Netflix did heavily hint that they were in the continuity with the MCU and everything. It could be a situation where they take like the first season of Daredevil, maybe season 2, and then season 3 is not in canon, and then just go, this is continuing off of season 2 into She-Hulk.
Or maybe just season 1, because we don't even know if how they're going to treat the Punisher, right? Or if the Punisher's even ever going to show up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
And was Daredevil in the Defenders?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be retconned out because, I mean, the Defenders, them being the Defenders was weird anyway. Like, it should have been called Hero for Hire because that makes more sense, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think they're even going to get like Finn Jones and the guy who plays Luke Cage back. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to share continuity with Spider-Man No Way Home because Matt Murdock made a very brief appearance in that. I wonder if we're going to get any mention of his dealings with Spider-Man.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean
so.
the writers are like, they drop like a Spider-Man reference like crazy. There's even some references in this episode.
Oh yeah, what references did you see in this episode?
So in the credits, there's actually a bunch of shoes. You know how like Pug was trying to chase those Iron Man 3s, right? It was supposed to be like Jordans. So at the ending of the episode, in the sort of like art credits, the graphics, right, you can actually see all these characters have their own shoes, right? And so one of them was like a Ben Reilly Spider-Man lookalike. Deadpool was there, Cyclops was there, Bishop was there. You know, a lot of characters that haven't been introduced in the MCU was there. So it's kind of like a little neat reference to that. And yeah, I think in a couple other episodes they had Spider-Man references as well, like directly in the show.
Finbar says, why hasn't the MCU referenced him? Why was Kingpin so unknown in Hawkeye if he did all that shit he did in the Netflix show? Even in the Netflix show, though, he was still kind of unknown outside of New York. He's a criminal. I can't name like the head criminals in my city, right? I don't know who the fuck they are.
I mean, that's a good point, though.
Daredevil season 3 takes place after the Defenders show, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
And at the end of the Defenders show, Matt Murdock goes missing. Remember? He's
briefly.
Dead. Yeah. Well, what if the continuity for Matt Murdock picks up after the Defenders? So instead of being missing and then going into the season 3 of Daredevil, they just cut out season 3. He's still missing. That's why he goes to San Francisco, and you have that whole thing over there.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, it would make sense too. Just to like. Because they didn't really explain it all that much. It was just sort of like, oh, he came back.
He was high profile on TV being arrested. But when was he arrested?
Yes, he was.
Like, that was like,
in the first season, at the end of the first season. And then he was in prison, and then, basically the events of season 3.
I agree, but at the same time, where would that really fit in as far as a reference? Like, is Iron Man going to be like, hey, guys, did you hear that the Kingpin got arrested in New York?
Well, I think in Hawkeye, I mean, there is a cut scene in Hawkeye that sort of deals with that. So I guess they were thinking about it. It just never made it into the show. I mean, you could see that clip. It's on Disney Plus. So.
Yeah. Well, Hawkeye knew who he was, right?
Yeah, he did. But I think that's because he was working with right? He was Ronin. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, plus that's another thing we didn't think of. With the whole snap, maybe people that were going to go to court, they went to court and like, hey, we got to testify against the Kingpin, snap, and the witnesses were gone now, so we got off on a technicality.
Yeah,
Hmm,
that'd be messed up. I wonder if they're gonna
that'd be interesting.
maybe use the next episode to explain away a couple of things, because they could quite easily slip in a couple of lines about timelines and reboots and stuff.
Definitely. That's they're gonna definitely make a joke about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had that one about Edward Norton.
Yeah, that was great. I'm a totally different guy now, literally.
What I think was funny in this particular episode was they sort of addressed the CGI a little bit, because the whole thing with the suits not fitting her and it looking weird and stuff.
Mm,
Now you know that it was quote unquote done on purpose, because they were leading to this episode where now they get her a new wardrobe and things are going to look nice on her and everything's going to fit good.
a meta reason for why the CGI is bad.
Maybe we'll see next episode, right? Because and apparently the dude that was in there, when they go into the I don't know, the tailor shop, I don't know what the fuck you want to call him.
Mhm.
Apparently there's a blonde dude that walks out, and in his bag is the Frogman costume.
Yes, that was at the first time they were visiting, right?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, if you don't pay attention,
You're gonna miss it.
yeah.
Which is
'Cause I
pretty
missed it.
funny, because but it seems like Frogman, or whatever his name is going to be fighting Daredevil. So like they shop at the same tailor. It's kind of
Well,
funny.
That's it's canon to the Marvel comics. I don't know if everyone reads Marvel comics, but in the Marvel comics, there is a character that creates all their costumes, because they had to explain away, like, where's everybody getting their costumes from, and they created this character. And there's an issue with Spider-Man where he's in the waiting room, and I think like the Shocker or somebody's in the waiting room too. And basically, there's a rule, like, he'll build you a costume, but you can't fight inside his building.
Right.
So they're just both sitting there waiting for their costumes to get done and just like having a conversation.
I didn't even. What issue was that? That sounds hilarious.
I don't remember. I'll look it up later. Frogman is Tony. Yeah, I'm going to be on the show. Any other thought? Bob, you didn't see this one, did you?
No, I've been slacking this week. I'm sorry, my bad.
With everything that you've heard about this episode, does this sound like one you're going to go back and watch?
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna watch. I don't really watch shows twice. I watch it once.
Yeah,
it sounds
same.
good. Sounds hype. I was kind of hoping to see Frogman this week, but I guess he's not, or he is.
Well, you just see,
Spoilers.
like I said, you see him outside of the costume.
Well, maybe next week we get to see him in his full glory.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, Blinded, before we move on?
There was no post-credit scene, which was weird. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I'm like, what the hell? And I had to go online to look, like, is there a post-credit scene?
Yeah, like, it's fucking annoying when they do shit like that. Just put a post-credit scene. It's like all the other episodes had it.
Well, the little scene with the Daredevil helmet almost felt like that should have been the post-credit scene.
Yeah. Or it should have been him picking it up. That would have gotten a lot more traction.
Like Charlie Cox shows up, like, hey, do you got my suit?
Yeah. That would have been a nice post-credit scene. Have like a little joke.
But alas, it was not to be. I was annoyed. Now I'm not sure if there's going to be a post-credit scene next week. And
Yeah, it's just fucking confusing. Stop doing that shit, Marvel.
all right.
Yeah, I spent the whole time of the credits of Endgame waiting for the post-credit scene, and there was none.
There's no.
I'm pretty sure the cinema ushers were getting fed up with me and a few others waiting.
Oh man.
I've gotten to the point where I like, after the movie's release, I'll look it up. Is there an end credit scene? So I know.
Yeah.
They should tell people like right at the beginning. There's a post-credit scene, and you're like, okay, I'll stay. So just like wasting my time, because now non-Marvel movies do that. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
It's the In Vogue thing, post-credit scenes.
Did they even start that, or
I think that started with Super Mario Bros. The movie. I think that was the first post-credit scene. And no one saw it because it wasn't a thing back then.
Didn't Ferris Bueller have a post-credit scene? That was like before
Ooh.
Mario.
I don't know.
yeah?
Yeah, where he's
but,
like,
I
he
mean,
comes
was it
out.
really a post-credit scene? It was just him going, "The movie's over, guys."
Sure, yeah, I know it's not really a post-credit scene, but still after the credits, though.
It was like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Trying to find that fucking comic scene. I hate when you look up stuff on the internet for like a comic book. I want this one particular panel, and you can never fucking find it.
That's because no one else reads comics.
Now I'm gonna have to like go into my boxes of comics and like scan the fucking thing, put it on the internet. I'm not fucking crazy. It happened. No.
You can tell me
Moving on.
later. Yeah.
It says, actually, for movies made in the 50s, the entire movie was post credits.
That's a good point. Would show the credits before the movie.
In an unprecedented move, we're gonna let Finbar come in.
Oh, nice.
He wants to
School us.
school us about this.
About the Kingpin stuff?
Possibly. Maybe he wants to talk about Frost being sexy. I don't know. There's the link. One sec. Don't ask for the link if you're not prepared to jump on immediately. Bringing the show to a halt, to a grinding halt, Finbar. Finbar, actually. But either way, I'm looking forward to next episode. I wonder how much of a fight we're going to get with Daredevil and Frogman, or if it's going to be like Daredevil hits him and then that's the end of the scene. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's not some bullshit. Yeah. If it's more like episode 4, then I'll be fine.
you mean with the demons?
Yeah, like that was
Yeah,
an
that's-
okay sequence.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, like the Titania fight was like, oh shit, they're gonna fight. Oh no, it's over.
Yeah, that looked like they did shoot like an action sequence, but they had to cut it, which is weird.
Well, I think, like I said, because they rearranged the order of the episodes, maybe
Yeah.
it didn't fit no more. So
But now it just feels like Titania is not even like
A
that
threat?
powerful. Yeah, or threat. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
all right, we got Finbar here to school us.
What's up?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Bob. Hi, Blinded. Yeah,
Hiya.
I'm not going to school you. The point I wanted to put across was just going back like a few years. You remember when who was the head of the Disney at the time? Was it Ike Perlmutter? Was that his name?
Iger?
Am I remembering
All
that
right,
right?
Bob Iger, or
No, the guy who was the head of Marvel, not Disney.
yeah,
sorry.
it was Ike Perlmutter. Yeah.
I mean, back then when he was in charge, and I think he did a deal with Netflix. It was him that was involved in it.
Hmm.
And I think the first show he did was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He did that for ABC. And that was done without Feige's input, so he didn't have any say in the scripts that were done for it. And when the movies were coming out, they were making no reference to the TV show, but the TV show was making reference to the movies. I think there was a scene in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they had there was like a helicarrier that they had, and a helicarrier popped up in Age of Ultron. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Well, in Agents
Even
of S.H.I.E.L.D., the whole first season references the MCU because they're dealing with all the fallout. From
It
various
does, but
movies.
the MCU never references Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's
Right,
never
right.
referenced. It's never referenced anything from
Netflix.
When the one shot for Agent Carter came out as well, there was a totally different cast aside from Haley Atwell. None of
Well,
the
they
other
only-
cast from that shot made it to that show.
No,
And the
Dum Dum
shows-
Dugan came out in that show.
Yeah, but he was a cameo, post credits cameo or something. Oh no, sorry, yeah, he was in one episode, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But what I mean is, there was a bit of a timeline fuck up as well in that show. The
Yeah, there was.
So it looked like the people writing it weren't involved with Marvel Studios.
No.
It felt like
they
they were
were
trying to
different
It
fix
doesn't
it.
seem like it's.
From what I remember, there was a lot of beef between the TV shows and the
Yeah.
movies and Kevin
Yeah.
Feige because I
Because-
think that the TV shows had their contracts for their shows, and they wanted more integration with the movies or something, but it never happened.
I think
Yeah.
what happened was, if I remember right, Feige had to report to Perlmutter, like he was under him, and he was pissing him off because Perlmutter, I think it was the Inhumans he took the Inhumans and put them on TV rather than, because Feige had announced the Inhumans was going to be a movie, and then
Well, Feige didn't want the Inhumans. That was the problem. So then they were like, well, we'll just take it and make a TV show, but like try to make it like it's a Marvel movie. That's why they had that IMAX screening for it.
see, I
You
think he
remember
did.
that?
I think he did want it, but the problem was they shoehorned Inhumans into the Agents of Shield too quickly for Marvel to
Yeah.
catch up. And then
Well, here's the thing: the Inhumans didn't show up into Agents of Shield until like season 3.
Well, technically, I mean, the thing is, there is a massive character that is an Inhuman that has been on the show since season 1, so it's
Who?
kind of hard to ignore. Quake.
yeah.
Is she an Inhuman in the comics?
No, she's not.
She's not, no.
But in the
Well,
show,
that's what I'm
she
saying.
is.
So yeah, but in the show, she wasn't an Inhuman until season 3, right?
Well, they hint toward in the first season that she has something special with her.
Right.
Yeah, well, that
And the
could've been-
thing
she could've
is,
been a
when that
mutant.
show was going on, no, it couldn't have been, because at the same time the show was going on, they're now introducing the whole new Inhuman thing, which was like them replacing the mutants.
Yeah, I think at the time, because Fox had X-Men.
Yeah,
Even in the comics as well. Even in the comics, you could see, because they sidelined Fantastic Four, they cancelled that comic, and then
Yeah.
yep.
and
They
then
did
they
a lot
made.
of shit.
I'm sure they made Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver Inhumans as well, and hinted towards them being Inhumans rather than mutants.
There were
Yeah,
guys
they
that
were
was a big
trying-
rumor. And
They were
they
trying
yeah.
to, but I think they were trying to replace the in the MCU the mutants with Inhumans, and then when that TV show bombed, I think that's what put an end to it. I was surprised, to be honest, to see Anson Mount come back for
Yeah, Doctor
Multiverse of
Strange.
Madness. That was a surprise, right? And it was good because I liked him.
Yeah,
Mm.
he was like the only good thing about that whole series.
About Inhumans, no, I like
Yeah.
the dog, but there wasn't enough of it. You know, the Lockjaw. I like Lockjaw. I thought it was quite
Yeah.
well done.
He
But-
should have been in Miss Marvel, to be honest.
Yeah, but the Netflix ones, to me, right? And I know I've had arguments with people about this, and I don't like going on Twitter, and this is the reason. But there's too much. Putting aside the whole continuity fuck ups and the Finn Jones of it all. There's too much that went on in those shows for it not to be noticed by the rest of the world. The idea that the Kingpin wasn't well known. There was a scene in Hawkeye where they're all sitting at a table, and Hawkeye says, "Oh, that's the guy I was worried about." And it's another, I can't remember who the character is that's sitting at the table. He says, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's the guy I was worried about all this time, Kingpin." How the fuck does this guy not know who Kingpin is? Kingpin's been on TV getting arrested. He's been in and out of prison. He got out of prison. I think he got out of prison in series 3, didn't he? He was in season 3, and then he got the shit kicked out of him at the end of it. How does people not know who Kingpin is at this point? But in Hawkeye, it's like the guy's been underground the whole time, and he's wearing gear from that Spider-Man comic that he was never wearing in the original show. He's built like a tank now. He can't get hurt by anything.
Yeah. Well,
He's,
I think
Sorry,
I
go
think
on,
we
Tom.
have to. I was to say we have to just understand that there's going to be some retcons and stuff to make things fit, right? The same thing happened with Ant-Man. Hank Pym didn't exist, right? There was no indication that Hank Pym existed. There was no superheroes. There was no anything. And then Ant-Man shows up, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, Agent Shield was working with Hank Pym, who's a huge scientist that everybody knows, but no one ever talked about. That decided to stop being a scientist because his wife went missing after they traveled into the quantum realm.
Yeah,
and he invented this formula that shrunk people.
But
Well,
really
there's a
contradicted
massive,
anything, though.
there's a lot of retcons. Like there's a retcon about Gamora. They said that she was her last of her people.
Yeah,
And it's
there's
not
the
true.
retcon about Captain Marvel. Remember, Captain Marvel didn't exist as a superhero. Iron Man was the first superhero in the MCU. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Captain Marvel existed in the 90s, and that's what really started the whole Avengers thing. It wasn't Iron Man.
I mean, there's a lot of stupid retcons though. Like even in that movie, like the whole Nick Fury getting his eye scratched out, that was stupid because that they referenced that in the Winter Soldier, and it was like a serious moment. So it's like, what the fuck? This was a whole joke. Like that makes the character look like an absolute idiot.
I think it would have been
You know what I mean?
funnier if during the whole thing that he was constantly like getting hit in the eye or shot towards the eye, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna lose his eye, and like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, that would have been better. But like they had to go for the cat scratching his eye. It was just ridiculous.
All I'm saying is, I think time will tell, and I think in the next, especially when either Echo or Daredevil Born Again come out, I think we'll find out that all that other stuff was another universe. I don't think any of that stuff is going to be continuity, or at least they'll cherry pick parts that they want to keep.
Yeah, I think they're
gonna
going to
do
cherry
that.
pick. Yeah.
Just like they did with the Hulk, they cherry picked what counts as far as the Edward Norton movie, and the Edward Norton movie itself cherry picked what counted from the previous movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what have they actually disregarded from the Edward Norton one apart from the actor? Nothing really. All that stuff happened.
Well, they never
disregarded
really.
the suicide thing. They kind of now embrace it, but the
No,
whole
no, he
Captain
said-
America
no,
thing-
no,
But, I mean, the only thing they haven't embraced is Betty. Betty's never came back, which is extremely weird.
But the suicide thing, Tony, he alluded to that in the first Avengers. When Black Widow came for him, he said he put a bullet in his mouth and the green guy spat it back out. So they admitted to that. That was part of his history. But apart from Edward Norton not being in it, there was nothing else that they disregarded. They pretty much brought everybody back now, apart from like Blinded Sane.
Well, I think they kind of
Liv
downplayed
Tyler.
the whole attack on the college or whatever. It was like a thing that happened, but they really were like, let's not really spotlight it, because the Hulk destroyed that whole like campus, as far as the public is aware, and then he shows up on the Avengers.
Yeah,
There was a
and
brief scene of
they
it in Iron
never
Man too.
talk about that. It's a good point.
Yeah, but he didn't kill anybody though, did he?
We don't know that. I mean, he didn't kill
in
anybody.
Civil War. In Civil War, they kind of like allude that he possibly killed some people during the Avengers, obviously by accident.
In Africa, yeah, I think the thing he did in Africa was worse than
Well, I mean, yeah, that too, but like also in the original Avengers, like that, there's a
Just the
direct clip that
destruction.
they show. Yeah, where he's like stomping on someone. That person's clearly dead. It's like, holy shit. And they never ask where's Banner.
And when he destroys Harlem, I'm sure there was people that died in that, right?
Yep.
Either directly or indirectly from him like busting pipes and breaking shit. You know, all those buildings had people in it, and he's like throwing shit into buildings and flinging cars around, and it's like,
yeah. But
Like
I'd rather
now
see-
they can
rather see
kind of
bodies.
excuse that away, because it's like, oh well, he technically saved everybody at the end of Endgame, right? Because he snapped everybody back to life.
But
So
does
I guess
everybody
that's
know
why
that?
they kind of ignore. Well, actually, they do. I think in She-Hulk they reference it, or in some show they reference directly that like he actually saved everybody, and
No,
this
but
was
I
coming
think-
from
I
a
think-
character that didn't know.
I think normal people don't know, like just the average MCU
No,
citizen.
I think people do know. It was either in Miss Marvel where they talked about it, where it was like, I think there was like a whole joke about Scott Lang talking about how like what actually went down, and so people actually know the
yeah,
exact.
that's right. He wrote like a book, didn't he?
Yeah, so like people do know that detail, but we haven't really seen Hulk interact with the public after that, even though he's in the show. Like it's kind of weird.
That's true. Anything else you wanted to say, Finbar, on the subject?
Nah, that's all I got, man. We'll wait a few. When's Born Again out? Is that next year?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I'll be dead in 2 years.
Oh, no. I mean,
We'll come back-
Echo
we'll
is
come
coming
back
out
in-
next year, so
Echo, yeah. So I think you'll get some more answers in Echo. I just think it's gonna come out that I just think anything that Feige didn't have a hand in, he's not interested in, or at least he's
Yep.
cherry picking. Obviously, I like Charlie Cox, but I don't think he's going to cast Finn Jones. No chance.
Well,
I believe the next Iron Fist is
agree.
going to be the Asian one. The Asian. Is it Swordmaster? Is that who they made the new Iron Fist? Can't remember.
oh, the new guy. Yeah, you know
What
what? I
was his
totally
name?
believe that. I don't even remember his
it'll
name.
be an Asian guy. It'll be him. They've done that in the comics because they want to set it up for bringing him into the MCU.
Mm.
But you won't see. Is it Mike Coulter at Luke Cage? He will not be back. Finn Jones
Yes,
will be
that's-
back. We may bring Kristen Ritter back, but that'll be it.
Hey,
Yeah,
look
she
who
was-
shows up
Gary.
late.
Gary.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce Tony. I'm going to bounce. I'm at works, and I know I don't want to take up the main panel here. I know I'm a
Mm.
after show
No, it's
guy.
fine. I just wanted to say before you left, one of the issues could be that the script writers would be owed money if they start incorporating some of their ideas. So it might be an issue of like, fuck those Netflix writers. We don't want to have to pay them for things that they created on the show. And two, I don't know if people remember this or they missed this, but when the MCU debuted, Marvel actually launched a bunch of comics that tied directly into the MCU that were canon. So like Jarvis was introduced in an Iron Man comic book that was tied to the MCU. So the character of Jarvis from Agent Carter is canon to the MCU. That was really the butler.
It always was canon. He shows up in Endgame.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but he showed up before that, before Endgame. These comics came out way long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that I think Agent Carter is canon, but I don't think Agents of Shield is canon.
Because the same thing with what's his name, with the leader. There's a comic book that shows that the leader gets arrested by Black Widow and brought into Shield custody after the events of the Hulk.
And I'm sure that won't be referenced in Captain America 4.
And I think for a small window of time, I want to say like 6 months, the video games were actually canon too, because Baron Zemo shows up in the Captain America video game.
Has anybody actually played them?
Somebody on
No.
YouTube probably has. I haven't.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
they
going to
did-
go. I'm going to go. Tony, Blinded Bob, and Gary.
See you later, dude.
Yeah,
So,
nice talking with you.
Thanks for popping in.
Max is saying he's glad I got my 2 cents in. So am I. I hate it when Tony fucking gets on his high horse and starts talking about MCU. No, talking about man. I'll see you in 2024.
All right.
Catch you later, guys.
See
Catch you
ya.
later.
Gary, so glad of you to join us.
I don't know. My voice is a little hit because I'm sick, so I'll try my best not to sound too bad. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Nothing. You missed the whole conversation about Frost and a little bit of the She-Hulk talk.
Oh, okay. The Frost was what, G4?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were all rating her out of 10. I said she was like an 8 out of 10. Blinded gave her a 6. Bob said she's a 4, which is weird because Bob is British and she got that British teeth. What do you think? Gary?
Nah.
I think we talked about this before. I think I already said I'd smash, though.
You did say that. Oh man, that's crazy. Fuck.
So is Henry Cavill in the MCU or not? We don't know yet. We don't know. A lot of speculation, a lot of rumor.
I don't think he's gonna be in it.
No.
Have you gentlemen all watched Cobra Kai, or am I the only one?
No.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I haven't even watched the first season.
I only watched season 1.
It looks boring as fuck. I wouldn't watch that.
I guess we'll
Well,
talk
did you-
about it later.
Did you hear the news though that they're making a new Karate Kid movie?
Yeah, I heard.
Another one.
I
It's a
don't
reboot.
care. I don't care.
No, it's not a. It's a. Is it a reboot?
Yeah,
I thought it
it's
was.
not going to have nothing to do with the show. or nothing
Oh,
to
that's
do with-
stupid. I thought it was the way that they're talking about it. I was like, oh, is this connected with the show?
What's his name, Tony? What's Pat's last name? I
Country?
can never say. No, the Karate Kid.
Marita?
Yeah, Pat Morita's dead. What can they do with it?
Well, they already did the one with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan.
Yeah, that one's stupid.
They can
yeah,
get
it
Chow
was
Yun
stupid.
Fat or one of the other guys.
Oh God.
Now we're not talking Cobra Kai because none of these other guys have watched it, so we'll skip that for now. And we'll talk about the Saudi prince has huge plans for gaming in the Middle East. He wants to make the Middle East the Mecca.
Right.
No.
Hey, I'm all okay with anything that's like gaming related. If you're gonna pour money into cool gaming stuff, I'm all for it.
I don't know if the Saudis are going to be known for cool gaming stuff, Gaby.
Well, I think it's a front.
I agree. I think it's a front.
Think it's a front? All right. This comes from Arab News.
Thing from
We lost you, Blinded. I heard anything from, then you cut out. The Saudis
didn't say anything
gotcha.
important anyway.
They tried to Khashoggi you.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I said it was actually slander. So now I can't even say anything bad. So
Too soon?
fuck it. Hey, they threatened us here. They were gonna bomb the CN Tower. That's what they put out some message saying that. So that was very suspect.
All right. So, like I said, this comes from Arab News. Saudi Crown Prince unveils national gaming and esports strategy. This comes from Jeddah. Saudi's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, herefore referred to as Saudi Prince, unveiled the national gaming and esports strategy on Thursday. The strategy marks the beginning of a new era towards leading the sector and making the country a global hub for the gaming industry by 2030, according to state news agency SPA.
2030. The fuck?
Yeah, they're not in a rush. 8 years from now.
Oh boy.
It also serves the Saudi Vision 2030 objectives, which aim to diversify Saudi Arabia's economy, create new job opportunities in different industries, and provide world-class entertainment to residents and visitors. The national gaming and esports strategy is driven by the creativity and energy of our citizens and gamers, who are the heart of the strategy, said the Crown Prince. Raising the quality of life by improving players' experience, providing new entertainment opportunities, and achieving an economic impact by contributing to the GDP by about 50 billion rials, which I don't know what that is in American, are the strategy's three main objectives. SPA's report also suggests that this will lead to the creation of 39,000 new job opportunities by 2030. Saudi Arabia aims to produce more than 30 competitive games in the kingdom's studios and become one of the top 3 countries containing the highest number of professional esports players. They're looking to dominate the esports.
All right. I hope they got deep pockets then.
They're the Saudis, Bob. They have like the deepest pockets.
I know. If anyone's going to do a big injection into esports, it's got to be the Saudis then. These guys.
Yeah, they wait their ass to gold, Bob.
Hey, your next Call of Duty game is going to feature Islamic freedom fighters.
Whoa.
You don't believe me?
That's the direction I thought you was going to go, but no, I believe you.
I'm telling you. Instead of like army men versus other army men, it's going to be like Islamic freedom fighters versus oppressive U.S.
Right.
Oh God.
At the recently concluded the Next World Forum in Riyadh, Ahmed El-Bashiri, COO of the Saudi Esports Federation, SEF, said in 2018 we only had 2 teams. Today we have over 100 teams signed under the federation, with over 500 professional players signed under official contracts. Even on the level of creating opportunities and jobs, we're dealing with bigger and bigger numbers that we're seeing, and we're expecting that these numbers will multiply greatly in the upcoming years. Do you think that the Saudis are going to allow female gamers to compete in like racing games, or do they need like a male next to them?
Bruh, imagine if they did. No, there'd probably be some fucking outrage from them.
You can't even drive in real life, so you can't drive in video games.
Yeah, no
Uh,
fictional cars.
That's fucked up.
Like all female esports drivers got to have like a male companion sitting next to them.
Oh my god.
The country intends to implement the strategy through 86 initiatives covering the entire value chain, which was launched and managed by more than 20 government and private entities. These initiatives are divided into 8 focus areas, which include technology and hardware development, game production, esports, additional services, and other aspects such as infrastructure, regulations, education, and talent acquisition. The gaming and esports sector is considered the fastest growing among all media sectors and is expected to reach $200 billion by 2023. It also confirms the kingdom's position as a geographical link between the East and West. The Crown Prince's announcement comes in the wake of the 10-week Gamers 8 Festival, which closed with the next World Forum, in which saw Saudi and international gamers take part in the biggest event of its kind globally. Was there a big event that I missed?
No clue.
I mean, this is like when the WWE goes over to Saudi Arabia and has like one event and it's like makes all kind of money.
Yeah, but we didn't cover it because we're assholes.
But yeah, like no one talks about it. Like, oh, whatever. It's a thing they do once a year. Like no one gives a shit. What up, Adam Wilson? Yeah, they did buy Neo Geo. Didn't they like buy SNK or like they're the majority stockholder in SNK?
If they did that, well, I mean, what is the Metal Slug Tactics going to look like? Wasn't that supposed to be out by the end of the year?
I think so.
If they didn't fuck that up.
Prince Fasil bin Bandar. How many princes do they got? Jesus Christ. President of SEF said, we're very proud of what other players have done, but it's not where we want to end it. We want to keep pushing and start doing more regular tournaments, participating in more international tournaments. We brought some here. There's plenty going on before the end of the year that we want our young Saudi men and women to participate in and give them a pathway to qualify and earn their place on the global stages. There's our work with the international federations. At the end of this year, the Global Esports Games for the Global Esports Federation in Turkey, which we are hosting next year, so we'll start preparation for that. We have our World Championships with the International Esports Federation also at the end of this year. Wow. I got to start getting into esports. Apparently, it's a big thing. When I say concrete steps, this goes across the board. We want to make sure they have the opportunities to qualify, that our partners are aligned with us and moving in the same pathway, and that we're doing the best for not just the local community, but the international community, he added. Meanwhile, Omar Betterji, lead of marketing, communications, and partnership at SEF, highlighted just how big the esports industry has become. Gaming and esports, I think, is one of the most interesting industries because everyone looks at it as if it's merely the video games that their children play. They don't understand that there's an entire industry behind it. Just in Saudi last year in 2021, expenditure in gaming and esports reached $1 billion, 3.7 billion rials, and we're a population of about 21 million gamers. So you can understand the magnitude of that industry in Saudi, and it's important that we try to convey that message. My worry in all of this is that if the Saudis get their claws into the gaming world, things will start changing because as much as people don't want to understand the Muslim culture and Muslim religion, there are a lot of things that they're not allowed to do, even in video games.
Yeah, censorship will be big.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, just little things we take for granted, like health potions and stuff like that might be seen as drugs. You can't do that. I mean, it's the same way like when Korea and China, censor things. You can't show skeletons. You can't show mythical creatures. Saudi Arabia has a lot of things that are haram. And
more so than the rest of the Muslim community. It's weird.
I mean, they don't go that route, then I have no problem with it. But if they start, stepping back or making the progression and progress we've had in gaming backwards, that will suck.
Oh, I think it's not even going to catch on, to be honest, because we already saw that happen with wasn't it with China and the whole Overwatch situation where they banned someone because they said fuck China. Like, I really don't think companies are even going to want to touch this anymore because of just that whole situation.
I don't know. Money talks.
I know they kind of lost a lot of money off of that.
So we'll see. We'll see. One Inch Biceps informs me that they have more than one now. They have about like 2 or 3 Saudi shows a year for the WWE.
Oh my god!
From my understanding, one of the Saudi shows is like enough to provide for the WWE for the whole year.
Jeez.
Like they could afford their whole year worth of content and putting out other shit just by that one Saudi show.
I mean, hopefully they're just in for the money, though. I mean, without having to change anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's definitely going to be changes.
Yeah, once they start buying into other companies, and there's going to be changes. Grand Theft Burka coming soon.
Oh, goodness. Hey, that might be sweet. Grand Theft Auto in the Middle East? Come on. That'd be pretty dope.
If it's in Dubai, baby, yeah, that'd be sick.
We still got the Hausers making it. We're good.
I think this could be an interesting time with a lot of countries like Saudi Arabia getting involved in gaming, esports. We'll see. Especially because a lot of the progressive ideas butt heads directly with some of the religious ideas from places like Saudi Arabia.
I mean, maybe they can make like franchises like Pokemon and Zelda better.
No way. They're come on.
They would probably be very, very upset with Zelda's. What the hell is the race that Ganon comes from?
The Gerudo people. Yeah, I mean, I heard people say it's a little bit offensive, but
didn't they change one of the Zelda? They changed one of the Zelda dungeons.
Yes.
It was like,
the fire
yeah,
dungeon.
an Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
They usually.
But that was because they put like some like praying chants in it, and they just thought it was offensive, so they just took it out.
We'll see.
I mean, it's fantasy. What the fuck?
I mean, the new one sounds the same, to be honest, just without the chants.
Yeah, I think they canceled like a whole game because of some religious thing.
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
All right. That's enough of that. From bad gaming news to good gaming news. I don't know if you guys are fans of the Suikoden series.
A little bit. I'm hyped for this remake. I've never played them.
You've never played them?
No, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. Yeah,
I mean, Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered. I mean, come on, like those games are to play them. You're either downloading the ROM and playing them illegally, or you're paying upwards of $300 or so to play these games. So, okay,
first off, before we get into anything, McDonald's really needs to like do something about that scholarship thing, the APA. Putting the M for McDonald's, I thought it was like a map thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is McDonald's?"
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's bad. The GoldenEye should be behind it.
Yeah,
or on top.
That said, this comes from Eurogamer. The first 2 Suikoden games are fucking fantastic, and I'm so pissed because I sold mine and for like a song and a dance because I had a whole. I was down on some money at the time, so I took my collection of games, and I was going to sell them at the what the hell is it? Come on,
pawn shop.
No, GameStop.
Porn shop.
I wish. And they were going to give me shit, right? They weren't giving me shit, but then some dude was in there and he's seen what games I had. He's like, "Hey, I'll buy your collection from you."
Oh yeah, you told us about this before.
Yeah, I told you about this. So
I don't think Bob heard the story though.
So I had like all the Suikoden games, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, all of those discs were in there. All the games that are worth a lot of money now. Let's just say that I sold it all for like $120.
Oof.
Ouch.
Uh,
Each of those
Yeah.
Final Fantasy games worth at least $40.
Well, the Suikoden games are worth
Hundreds.
yeah, because I had the whole thing. I had the cases, games, the instruction booklet.
Pig.
Yeah. Anyway, this is from Wesley Yinpool. Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters announced out 2023. Konami has announced that they're actually making games. They're remasters of Suikoden 1 and 2. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster Gate Rune and Duen Unification Wars launched together on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Steam, and Nintendo Switch in 2023. This is the big Tokyo Game Show announcement Konami teased earlier this month. The trailer below shows off each game's remastered look. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this trailer. I have not seen it. Bob, are you sleeping?
No? Why?
Heard
Am I
somebody
snoring?
breathing heavy, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So,
My bad.
sorry about that. I didn't mean to pop out, but when you're done with this trailer, Tony, I sent a picture in the DMs.
All right. Is it a good picture?
It's a good picture if you're a collector. It's gonna hurt you a little bit though.
oh no.
It's gonna make you sad.
I saw it. I'm sad.
It's bad.
Sad. All right, let's watch this.
Oh wow. Damn. You missed out, man.
Now, if only Konami would make the sixth game in the series already.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last game they made was on like the DS, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that didn't count. That was like a side story.
Mm-hmm.
It looks nice. It looks good. What I'm looking at here, what I'm seeing.
Was Suikoden 3 and 4 on PlayStation or PlayStation 2?
I think they were on PlayStation 2. And I want to say the fifth one was on 3.
No, this looks really good. This is something I'll definitely. Is it coming out for Switch? Or is this going to be on like PlayStation only?
I think it said Xbox, Switch, PC. And
Okay.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I'd definitely get this on PlayStation. I don't think I ever beat 1 and 2, but I definitely played them. My buddy had them, so.
I beat
Wait,
both
you would
of
buy
them.
a PlayStation just for this game, Gary? What?
Hopefully they remaster the other ones.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like if this does well, I could definitely see them remastering them, especially with the prices of the games. I think it's a no-brainer. I think they know that people can't. They don't have really right. They want to play it. They don't have access to it, especially at the prices. So it looks really good. I mean, it basically reminds me what Square Enix is doing with like the remastered games. So
They look good. I'm glad they didn't change too much. They just, HDified it or whatever you want to say.
right.
Upscaled it.
Well, they might have. They probably did what they did with the what was it, Legend of Mana, where they did have to go in and fix some stuff because they did the HDified kind of deal. But no, it looks really good. It looks solid.
It looks like they changed some of the profile pictures. The art for when they're talking.
Right.
But other than that, Konami doesn't care about video games anymore. Don't say that.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about this?
They're
There
caring
was-
a little bit more.
What's funny about this?
Well, there was a rumor that Konami was remastering games, and everybody was freaking out that it was MGS, but it was actually these games.
Uh,
Yeah.
So it is coming out on the Switch, Gary. So
Cool.
all right. It says Suikoden 1 and 2 are critically acclaimed Japanese role-playing games that launched on the original PlayStation in the mid-90s. Konami outlined some of the changes made for these remasters. The pixel sprites and environment art are changed, with new screen effects including lighting, clouds, and shadow animations. Expect to see flickering flames, smoldering smoke, and even the movement of leaves and insects. Meanwhile, all character portrait was the word I couldn't fucking think of, have been updated in HD. Konami said Junko Kawano, who designed the characters for the original version of Suikoden, has newly redrawn all the character portraits for one HD remaster, Gate Rune War. A number of environmental sounds not found in the original version, including the sound of running water in the river, wind, insects, and running footsteps, were added to the field sound in battles. All sound effects are now in HD. You'll also spot new features in keeping with remasters of this type, including a dialogue log, auto battle, and double speed battles. That'll help.
Well, that's a big feature for like all the new Final Fantasies. People love using that fast forward option. Now, are they putting this on? Is this just going to be a digital store only, or is this going to be physical?
I'm sure this is going to be physical. They
I sure
haven't
hope
said,
so.
but I'm sure. Man. All right, so I'm going to show this picture that Gary sent me. He wants to hurt my feelings. All right. This is Suikoden 1 and 2, which I had both. $499 or best offer is what it's going for.
So yeah, that's about ballpark. There might be cheaper ones on there, and I'm not exactly sure if those were complete, because I did see higher prices and I did see lower prices. So I'm gonna say that's about the ballpark of those games. PlayStation 1 stuff in the last few years is just absolutely hit the moon. But yeah, that's a heartbreaker, Tony. That sucks.
It is what it is. Suikoden 5 on the PS2, and it's expensive as well. Is it? Yeah, that's right. I just hate that after 5 games, there's no conclusion. That there were so many loose ends in that series. They need to finish it. They need to make 6.
No, I agree. That's something that they need to get on. Maybe they'll
I can't afford it. I can, but I just
revamp the series and bring it back, revitalize it.
yeah. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this does well enough that they're like, hey, we can make a 6th game. I know they got a Udian Chronicles, something like that. That's the original team from Suikoden making their own game. That's like a spiritual successor.
right.
So I'll be getting that. But I mean, there's nothing much to say about this. I'm glad that this is happening. I'll probably get both games and then I'll never play them because I beat them already. Yeah. I'm just
Now,
who buys shit.
Now, they're on the same cartridge? Is this 2 for 1, right?
It
Or are
didn't
they
say.
separate?
I think it's separate because they both have subtitle names.
Ooh, that would be a big miss in my opinion. If they're going to charge like about what do you think, $30, $40 for each one?
Yeah.
Ouch, that's kind of rough. I was kind of hoping there would be 2 for the price of 1 and they'd be $40, but I guess we're going to have to see. Hopefully they'll be together.
Well, it says launch together on PlayStation 4. So
Oh.
I don't know if that means they launch on the same day or they launch.
Well, I mean, it could still be like how they did like some of these other collections. Like Legacy Collection, I think, was split into 2, but you could get the physical version, and then hopefully the physical version actually has both games on it, at least for Switch. I mean, I don't think you'd have a problem with PlayStation or Xbox, but, Switch always worries me with these things.
Mm.
Yeah, you might get one and then one digital, one physical.
Yeah, you have to download at least one of them. That'd be a bummer. Because at that point, I'll probably go just like digital for both of them. Catch them on sale and pay less money,
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go on sale, though. This is not the type of thing that goes on sale. Not for a long time. Speaking of sale, I just bought a whole bunch of games because, again, I'm an idiot to just buy shit.
What'd you buy?
I don't even remember. To tell you the truth.
Well, I think we need to transition into the indie spotlight for the week.
Oh,
Because
you ready for that?
Yeah, I think you're gonna need to save those pennies.
All right, I guess we'll transition. Gary knows all about transitioning. Gary's Indie Spotlight. Gary, what game are we talking about today?
So we're going to be talking about Jack Move. I mean, there's really not much to say. I think the trailer and the gameplay is going to speak for itself. But we got a very neat themed game here that's going to be an RPG, and like I said, I think it's just going to speak for itself.
That's it. That's your whole setup, Gary.
That's my whole setup.
A price, a release date, nothing. Just
to be honest, I was sick and I was late.
Excuses.
Don't worry.
I'm a
I actually
battered man.
I have a whole thing on it to go over, so don't worry about it. Catch you back. Let's look at the trailer. It's 1 minute and 55 seconds. Be transformative.
I have a real bad feeling about this. Gotta hurry.
It looks like one of those anime games, Gary. You don't like those.
I mean, this is a cutscene, so.
I knew something was wrong the moment I saw that woman.
She's got a weird face.
She does.
They were searching for something in my father's house. Did they take him? Did they find what they were looking for? Looks like everything here is untouched. I will find you.
Are they going to show gameplay in this trailer, Gary?
Yes.
Because this is a long opening here. Yeah, it does kind of look like Penny from Inspector Gadget.
This is gonna have this reminds me of it's got a bit of a Mega Man feel to it.
There it is. There's the gameplay. It looks a little bit like Mega Man Battle Network, and of course,
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
fucking.
Now, yeah, I would say that the trailer was more on the anime side of it, but I don't know if there was a secondary trailer. I don't think there was.
There isn't. But
Yeah,
don't worry, I
and-
got you covered, Gary. Because I always do. Always got your back. So that is a GIF provided by the company, showing off the moves and stuff in the game. It does have a Battle Network feel to it, but I don't think it plays.
Yeah, I think the main reason it has that feel, maybe the grid base at the bottom while you're in combat, and the fact that it's got a very tech feeling or tech. Yeah, my brain's just not working today, guys.
All right.
It's just
Well, Gary's brain reboots. I will tell you that this game has already been released. It released on September 8th this year.
Yep.
It's compatible with Windows and Apple. It was published by Hype Train Digital. Its developer is So Romantic. I'm not going to go over the requirements because I don't think you guys care about that. But But the story, it says, take on the role of Noah Solaris, an up-and-coming vigilante hacker from Brighttown. When the overreaching megacorporation Monomind kidnaps Abner, her estranged father.
Hold on a second. Blinded, are you streaming outside?
Someone's outside, yeah.
It's very windy.
Oh no, it's just my fan. I think it's hitting. I usually angle it. You can still hear it.
Yeah. Oh, it's good now.
Oh, okay.
Noah has no choice but to get him back before it's too late. Why is Abner researching digitized consciousnesses? And what does Monomind want to do with it? Noah won't be alone on her journey. She'll be helped out by her best friend and technical planner, writer, as well as her martini-drinking uncle and ex-corporate spy, Gwyn Blakely. Cyberspace battles. It says battle Noah's foes in unique single-party member turn-based battle system featuring beautiful animation and tactical gameplay. Customize the software in your cyber deck to switch roles mid-battle, balancing offense, defense, and buffs. Choosing which software you load during battle is the key to victory. Hardware upgrades can help boost your stats, increase the amount of software you can install, or give Noah extra abilities. Features. Gorgeous, high-bit pixel art inspired by retro RPGs, enhanced with modern techniques. Battle your foes in cyberspace, take them down using a multitude of sweet hacking software. Explore a dangerous world of Mono City 1 and take down Monomind, the evil mega corporation that controls it. Play as Noah Solaris, a sassy hacker out to save her father in the world. Fight your way through dungeons filled with all sorts of cyberpunk villainy, street punks, gangsters, corporate militia, and horrific cyber experiments gone wrong. We'll all be vying to take you down. Bite-sized 7 to 10 hour campaign.
Yeah. So the only thing, it seems a little short, and the biggest thing that's kind of driving me nuts with this, because the game looks great. It looks like you don't get any characters to play with, any kind of like other party, right? It just looks like it's her and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's $20 on Steam.
If you go and get it right, you can go and pre-order it, I guess, on the eShop right now, and you get 10% off. So I think that puts it at like $17.99, so $18
on the eShop. What are you talking about, Nintendo?
Yeah, it's available right now for a 10% discount if you pre-buy it before it comes out. I believe on the 20th. I think.
Let's see. I'm at the Switch eShop right now. It always takes forever to load the fucking eShop.
Yep.
$17.99. Yeah, it's 10% off digital. Pre-order. It doesn't say when.
It should say. Doesn't it say on the side?
Release date right here at the bottom. September 20th.
Yeah. So I thought.
Which is weird.
A couple days away, and then also going to save your pennies really quick. Shovel Knight Dig finally coming out. That'll be the 23rd or the 24th, I believe. So a couple good games I'm getting excited for. It's been a while since I think I purchased something, so those definitely look good. I was excited for this game since I seen it. I believe it was unveiled not too long ago. So
yeah, there was a demo.
About.
There was a demo for the game a couple months ago, but now we got the full game. It looks good. Looks like something I would be interested in. It is Steam Deck compatible, so.
Oh, there you go.
Now the $20. I don't know how you justify it.
For a 7 hour, it's probably really good, but it's gonna. I don't know. It could be one of those games where it was like 7 hours for a role playing game seems very short. It's gonna leave you wanting more. Definitely. Hours. Yeah, it's gonna leave you wanting more. I don't know though. Length. I never had an issue with length. Like the old Nintendo games seemed to be like the right length, and I think people always got mad that Nintendo games weren't longer games. I know we're 2022, but there are games out there that, hey, you want 500 hours? Go play Elden Ring, right?
There's too many long games.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of long games. It's refreshing to have a game that's like pinpoint accurate, where it's like perfect, right? Where everything just looks good.
It's not an issue of length. It's an issue of price for length, right? Like if it's a $10 game, I'd be like, oh yeah, 7 hours worth of content, yeah, $10 is fine. But now we're going $20. You're like, what other games are $20 that are going to have more content that's going to be just as good, if not better?
I mean, like I said, Shovel Knight's going to come out. I think that's going to be a $25, $30 game, and that's going to be half the length. I think that'll be like 3.5 hours. You'll be able to beat that game in.
And then now we'll have the same argument about that, whether it's actually worth.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's to each his own. Like I said, as long as the quality's there and you thoroughly enjoyed the game, I could understand, Tony, if the game was maybe 4 hours long, that would hurt. I'd probably be a little sour about that. But I think if I could squeeze 10 hours, they're saying 7 to 10 hours. If I could squeeze 10 hours out of the game, it was a solid RPG at the end of the day with a pretty good story. I mean, it's going to be a hard story to tell in 10 hours, and I think that's really what you're worried about. But we'll see.
I'm worried about a lot of things because when we're talking RPG, 7 to 10 hours, right? You got to figure. Well, either the dialogue is going to be very short in order to squeeze in more gameplay, or the game is going to be short to squeeze in more dialogue, right?
Well, there is.
Yeah, I think I can understand that.
Well, there is only one character too, so.
Yeah, but when you start going in an action game, right? Like Mario doesn't get any skills. All the skills that he's acquired in the beginning of the game, he has by level 8, right?
Right.
Whereas in an RPG, you're expecting them to get new skills, new abilities. If you get new abilities, then the game's over before you really get to play with them or whatever, right?
Unless there's a replay reason.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're saying 7 to 10 hours, they haven't incorporated like roguelike mechanics or anything like that.
No. There's not even if they were like 7 to 10 hours main campaign plus a like endless dungeon or something, right? Then I'd be like, oh, okay. But if it's 7 to 10 hours and then that's it, game over, you got to start from the beginning again. I'm like, I guess I got to play it. I got to try it. Just from what I've heard,
It looks good.
It looks good, but $20, like I said, there's so many options now. This is like you said, it's 2022. There's so many options that $20.
I agree. You're competing with a lot, so I agree.
Any last thoughts on this before we move on?
RPGs should be longer, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to very briefly talk about Cobra Kai. Since nobody else has seen it, I guess I'll give a full review on like Monday or something. But real briefly, Cobra Kai Season 5 is fucking awesome. It is badass. We get to see a lot of characters that we haven't seen previously from the Karate Kid franchise show back up.
Is Dutch back?
No, he's the only character. So far, Dutch is the only one.
Bummer.
I think it's because the actor, he's like a musician now or some shit.
Right.
So, but like I said, it's very good. A lot of my predictions came true as far as how long certain things were going to happen and other things. Stingray gets a big moment where he actually kicks some ass in the series. It's fucking, it's badass. If you don't know, Stingray is the fat, out of shape, older dude that was hanging around with the kids trying to be cool. Like I said, he gets a big moment, whips some ass. We get to see Mike Barnes show back up. Chosen shows up, whips some ass. All in all, it's a great season. It ends on a cliffhanger. Plenty of room for a season 6. I'm looking forward to it. I binged it in 2 days. The episodes were like 36 minutes to 40 minutes, and then one was like 28 minutes or 29 minutes, something like that. So they were like all over the place as far as episode length. but it was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I gotta sit down and watch it at one point. Like Karate Kid was a movie we had on VHS, and I watched it religiously all the time. It's one of my most, my favorite movies. So, and I seen the first season. I liked the first season. I just needed to get around to watching everything else. But
The
from
first
everything I
season is still
heard,
the strongest. Still the strongest.
yeah, from everything I heard, I'm missing out. So
Yeah. It is the focus on in the first season. It's like 100% focused on Johnny. By season
right,
5, the focus has shifted to be like almost equal between Johnny and Daniel, and then all the kids. But still holds up. Still a great series. It's not exactly PC, but at the same time, it's not exactly not PC. It's got this weird hybrid mix. Like some moments you're like, oh shit, that's like so anti-PC, and then you're like, oh shit, that's so fucking woke. What am I watching?
Tony. At some
Mhm.
point, does Johnny and Danny team up to crane kick a motherfucker? Do I get to
No,
see that? Oh, damn it!
but Danny does crane kick somebody, and they do. They go over some of the backstory of some of the characters and why they were the way they were, and people make up. It's really good. It is a very nostalgic show, but it's also very conclusive, and it tells its own story at the same time. It's fucking great. Watch Cobra. If you haven't seen Cobra Kai yet, watch it before Monday, because Monday I'm going to go full spoiler. I'm going to talk about each episode. So you've been warned. And Gary's got to hurry up and watch it so he can join me.
What's it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix now.
How much is a month on Netflix?
$10, $15.
I should be able to do that. I'm a working man now.
Yeah, you showed us pictures of you like climbing towers and.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so basically, I wasn't here for the beginning of the show, so I guess we can discuss a little bit how my week went. I got beat the fuck up. So yeah, we had to do this paper mill. I had to pretty much Spider-Man in between ladders and hydroblast these cans and rollers so that they could be inspected and changed out and whatnot. And then the next day I was sent up on a silo like 150 foot up about. And I'm not like the best with heights. I'm not like afraid. It's just being not tied down and walking around on something like that is uneasy, but I can do it. And then the next couple of days I did more hydroblasting and I got beat up, man. I spent, 75% of my work week wet. I got sick. It wasn't fun. But, money
Did you have
talks.
COVID?
No, I got a cold because I was wet and it got, it got breezy outside at night. I was working night shift, so.
Oh dear. Screw that. Don't want to be
Good.
uptight.
Now we got one more thing to talk about before we get into the fan polls and all that stuff. There has been a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? A little scam console that was on the market. Still hasn't released yet.
The play date? Oh,
Yeah,
no, wait.
yeah.
That did come out. Sorry, that did come out.
No,
What are we talking about?
The
I'm
new,
talking about-
The Atari VCS. Oh, no, wait. That
No,
came
that,
out too.
that came out.
what's that one called? The Pelagia or whatever it is, which is like going to be that NFT console. It's got to be that one, right?
The polio? No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that one. It's not that one. It is actually the Intellivision Amico.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you've heard of this, but so there was
Bill.
recent coverage on the Intellivision Amico by a German gaming magazine called PC Games. It is apparently a very big deal in Germany. So they made a whole ass video, and they made an article. Why can't I think of the word? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, there was some other things that went on this week with the Amico, so we'll discuss that. So, gentlemen, as I was saying, PC Games wrote a whole long-ass article in German, obviously. It's called Intellivision Amico, Great Retro Hope, Deeply Fallen Reportage. Now, this is a multi-page. This is a fucking 8-page, 7 if we don't count the gallery. Just massive fucking article.
Sheesh.
There's also a video that's a 44-minute video. So you know they're serious. But there was one thing that I wanted to highlight in this whole video. They talk about Jay Allard. And wouldn't you know it, when they talk about Jay Allard, they make a reference to something. Anybody know what they make a reference to? Anybody? Anybody on the panel?
Something or someone?
Well, something.
News? I don't know.
That way.
That's right. They do discuss that.
Hey.
Tommy Talarico was very rude to us here at the Geek Getaway. So
I can't imagine why.
It's on page 2. Page 2 or 3? It's Tommy. There's all Tommy's stuff. Where's the next page? God dang it. This article has way too many pages. All right, so here it is. As you can see on the screen here, as global CEO, he would have played a central role in Intellivision entertainment, but after the publication of the Ars Technica article and the accompanying reaction of Talarico, he parted ways with the company. Speaking of Jay Allard, attention, that doesn't have to mean anything because Allard explicitly stated when asked by website GeekWire that, quote, there was no drama, just didn't fit together well. The strange thing is that James Allard, on his LinkedIn profile, changed his status at Intellivision to part-time after a brief entry as a full-time job, and then even deleted any trace of cooperation. This is auto-translated, so that's why it sounds a little weird. And then you can see the screenshot, courtesy from the comments of the Geek Getaway on YouTube. It's a great channel. You should follow that channel. They're awesome folks at the Geek Getaway. As one was used to from Talarico by now, he ruled very unprofessionally on his circumstance. Under the video of the YouTuber, The Geek Getaway, who also dealt with the termination of the Xbox size, he stated, contrary to Allard's statement, that the ex-CEO is still active today as a consultant if necessary. As you can see in the attached screenshot, however, Talarico is polemical, emotional, and attacks his counterpart personally in the unprofessional way he is now accustomed to. To put it into perspective, this is the best line of the whole article. The Geek Getaway is a tiny channel with fewer than 700 subscribers that only gave facts.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Tommy Talarico is the president of a large corporation and organizer of nearly 360 concerts who met these facts with personal insults.
Boo.
So a huge German gaming magazine wrote an article in which they said Tommy Talarico is an asshat who was very unprofessional when dealing with me, who was very professional and only gave the facts.
Real recognizes real, hey?
That's right. And that was the article. But if we go to the video.
Oh, yeah, Bob.
If we go to the video, as you can see, I got it timestamped already. They actually show our page. They give us a huge shout out. They're like, hey, Geek Getaway.
Gewohnten unprofessionellen Art und Weise persönlich an. Um das Ganze in Relation zu setzen, The Geek Getaway ist ein winziger Kanal mit 100 Abonnenten.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
It's made all this worth it, Tony. It's made it all worth it.
Duncan
It's come
Shea.
full circle.
It has. So as you can see, real recognizes real. Geek Getaway #1. Not S. Shizer. Tiny channel, yes, tiny. Well, it's true. I mean, it's not like it's false, right? Should I attack them? Should I be like, fuck you, PC games? We're a huge channel. You don't know nothing. So that happened. Big article. Sweet. It's pretty sweet. That video has gotten 4,700 views as of the recording of this video. So thank you. Now, Gary, I believe you wanted to say something about Amico Forever this week.
I mean, I was wondering if you guys wanted to watch a little bit of the thing, but is that what we do anymore?
We don't really do that anymore. Is there anything specific from the episode that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, it's all just a bunch of bullshit, but I think Retro Bro covered it pretty good. I was fired up when I watched it. I watched it during lunch the other day. Just had me fired up because there's a lot of lies, a lot of BSing their fan base and their viewers.
Well, we will look at some clips because the Intellivision _Amico subreddit, which was started by some guy named Tony TGD. They always clip the best clips from the Amico Forever, so we can just go ahead and look at what clips they put up.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And as you do or do not know, the official r/Amico subreddit, which used to be corporate, has now been freed of corporate control. So let me get this clip up. This is Geeks with Cash making the case for why we need actual game journalists and not just fan channels. I should clip it. Bob, are you dying?
No, I'm alive. Why?
Someone's breathing. Someone's like...
I was muted.
They're not really communicating with us very much right now. And we're honestly, quite frankly, I haven't really been actively reaching out much because it feels like it takes away from things that need to be done, like either getting the console out, finding new avenues of income so they can either get more things out through production, get things straightened out, get you your money back. Anything I do takes away from better efforts that they can be doing to better their position.
Bullshit. There's nothing to talk about.
So according to Nick, if he reaches out and says, hey, where's their money? This is going to somehow impede their ability to create the console and get you back your money. While not addressing the fact that if they use money for things that are not refunds, someone says, hey, I want a refund, and they say, no, I need this money for other things. I'm pretty sure that's called stealing now, right?
I don't understand how he can have both these stances where he wants the people to get their money back, but at the same point he wants them to continue doing what they're doing. You can't have both. Yeah. You either can agree that this company has failed in a big way, and that they immediately need to refund everybody who is seeking a refund, or you can pretty much just give a middle finger to your fan base that you've kind of promised that this system would be out, over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
you just can't have it both ways.
Nick told people to ask for the refunds, but what he's saying is that when he reaches out to Intellivision, he's not asking. He's tired of it all. Yeah, he doesn't want to be the intermediary. He's not the middleman, guys. It's not his responsibility to get you your refunds. It's not his responsibility to hold Intellivision's feet to the fire. He doesn't want to deal with any of that. Now,
yeah, look, he's made it clear he just wants his console. He doesn't care about anything else because he's got like 7 of them, and he's got a lot of skin in the game.
You have a company who guaranteed 100% refundable at any time. The company has not declared bankruptcy, which means the company has money, right? Now, if they're using that money for something that is not a refund request,
That's
then
fraudulent,
in my opinion. It's a scam. That's fraud. That's theft. We've now gone into the theft. They don't have enough money to produce consoles, so why are they not giving you that money? What are they using that money for? Salaries?
It's a good question, and they should be upfront about it. Maybe actually show some receipts too, not just give a general statement that they've been doing for the last 2 years. Oh, excuse me.
He doesn't care that his money's gone. Yeah, he doesn't care that his money, but other people care that their money. It's the principle of the matter. Right. What are they using that money for? If let's say that in 6 months, right? In 6 months, they say, "Hey guys, it's over. We failed. It's over. We have no money. We're bankrupt." And you go, "Wait a minute. What did you do in the 6 months?" "Oh, well, nothing. We just paid people to be employees." Well, you could have closed shop 6 months earlier and refunded everybody instead of paying people for 6 more months, right? Like,
and the really hard part about this is, how much money do you think they legitimately owe? Even if they had 1,000 pre-orders, and I'm really struggling to believe there's 1,000 outstanding pre-orders that they got to refund. That's what, $10,000?
100,000. Gary, you're really bad at math, aren't you?
Is 1,000? Well, yeah,
times
okay,
100
you're right.
is 100.
Yeah, times 100.
It was real simple math.
Sorry, it was. Hey, I've been sick and tired all week. Give me a break. I'm not.
Are you working for Intellivision? Do you run there? Because that would explain a lot.
But you would think even that kind of money is still chump change. It really isn't that much.
At most, well, they got like 2,000, 3,000 pre-orders
outstanding. I can't fathom that they have that many outstanding. And really, what gets me in this whole argument that Nick's making, the worst part about it, is that he goes on to say that he's lost money before by pre-ordering things and buying things online. He even goes as far, and I said this, I commented on Retro Bros video, that eBay, he's lost money on eBay. Personal sellers, people that aren't companies like Intellivision and Entertainment, he goes and compares an eBay seller to something of that magnitude. It just blows my mind how he's not shining the responsibility light on them. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, I've heard him. I heard the full clip, and he compares it to like, well, you've waited a long time. I've waited a long time for homebrews. Some guy making a game in his basement is not the equivalent of a multi-million-dollar company, right?
Right.
Some guy selling shit on eBay is, again, not the equivalent of a multi-million-dollar company.
Right.
No one told them to offer 100% refundable deposits, right? No one said that. That was their decision. And now they have to own up to their decision.
Right. And they could have been honest. They could have been honest from the get-go and said there's a chance that that you might lose the money in the process. And I don't think we wouldn't be talking about this, right? They would have been honest from the get-go, and I don't think that would have really hurt their pre-order sales, because I think the guys that pre-ordered this would have still went forward with pre-ordering it. So
yeah, definitely.
Now, real quick, 1 Inch Bicep says Nick is just a YouTuber. He's not in television. Yes, these guys are just YouTubers. They're not in television. However, they all position themselves as people who are talking very closely to the company and have communicated official stuff from Intellivision, right? I've talked to Nick. I've talked to this guy.
And Tony, don't forget to talk about that. There was a point in time that all this was secretive.
Yeah.
There was a point in time that we didn't know that these guys were that close. Like we did. We got the gist when the Crayola event rolled around and they were doing it. Right. But once the lid came off, it was exposed that these guys were talking to them on a daily, talking to Tommy and guys within the company on a daily basis.
Look. If Gary owes you money, right?
I kind of do owe you money.
But if Gary owes you guys money, right? If Gary owes 1 Inch Biceps money, and 1 Inch Biceps is like, well, you're friends with Gary. You say you talk to him all the time. Can you tell Gary to give me my money? And I'm like, no, it's not my business. You're still gonna be like, no, fucker, we're friends, right? You need to go to your other friend and help me get my money back, because you helped facilitated him taking my money, which is what these guys did. They helped facilitate people to make pre-orders. They convinced them it was a great system. It was coming out. Everything's hunky-dory. Nothing's wrong. Don't worry, guys. Fucking it's great. Yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And now that the shit has hit the fan, they're all going.
They want nothing to do with it. Right.
Yeah. He hasn't talked to Nick said that he reached out and that they hadn't talked to him. That's what he said. Well, let's there's a little bit left in this clip.
So why would I contact them and screw that up? Why would I put pressure onto them to have that?
Why would I put pressure on them to do the thing that they're supposed to do?
The more morally obligated thing to do.
Yeah. If you guys were fucking hammering me to reach out to Intellivision, I would be reaching out to Intellivision every day, going, "Look at guys, I'll be showing you emails. Look, I've fucking emailed them like 6 times. They don't want to give you your refund. It's not my fault. I've done what I could." These guys are just like, nah.
That's because these guys are still hoping that they don't want to rock the apple cart, innit? They think they've got a sweet thing being in with this company.
Well, yeah, they want one of these. Like I've always said, there's going to be 10 to 20 production units, and that's it. And they're hoping that they have ran the gauntlet with Intellivision so long that they're in, right? That's what they want. They know this. The ship is sinking. They're hoping that they're what's her name on the Titanic, and they hope they get that Amico floats by them and it saves them. Like that's all they got. Yeah, they're a bunch of roses. Yeah.
30, 40, 15-minute conversation or whatever.
All right, so that was the end of that clip. Yeah. We got one more clip, which is it's a clip plus a little bit extra, because I think this comes from maybe a Goose video or something. I'm not sure. This is our favorite journalist, Michael Mullis.
He's your favorite. He's your inspiration, Tony.
He's my inspiration. He's the wings. He's the wind beneath my wings. Didn't you know that you're my hero? Finbar says, because I know if I'm shilling hard for this thing to the point where I'm getting flagged from people and the company I was shilling for went quiet on me, I dropped them like a bad habit. Quick spot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. These guys are gluttons for punishment, though.
That they are, Bob. That they are.
And I'm going to take this over to the Xbox side for a second. There is this kind of starstruckedness that, Xbox fans have about their current head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Xbox fans on the panel, are you starstruck over Phil Spencer?
No.
From Twitter, if you see on Twitter, they suck him off like crazy. They're in Discords with him. Yeah, they have a whole Discord, and he talks with them. All these executives at Xbox do. It's really weird.
But I thought it was unprecedented that Tommy talked to people. Wasn't that what I was told?
No, and isn't Phil Spencer getting a lot of backlash at the moment because he said one thing. That article we talked about the other week where they took one thing he said and they made a big deal about it. He's been getting backlash from that. So
right, yeah. This is why you keep your mouth shut.
All right, let's carry on.
And it's almost like you kiss the ring.
The ring
when you meet him. I don't do that. I don't.
Yeah, right. Pull the other one, Mike. It's got bells on it.
I don't.
You were. He's right. He wasn't kissing the ring.
We love you, Tommy. We love you and love you, Tommy. He is awesome. He is just outright awesome.
Oh my
I don't care
God.
what anybody says. Everybody can downvote us. They can leave nasty comments. I love Tommy. Now we love you, man.
That's a big.
Thank you, Tommy. I love you. I've spent the last year going, holy shit, I'm friends with Tommy Talarico. I love you, man. Yeah. And this has been awesome. I love you. This to me.
Oh, Jesus.
You see the look on my face. You see the smile on my face. This is that you are a musician who has credits out of the yin. You are a touring musician. You have all rights to ignore most of us. And here you are. I consider you a friend of mine now. And that to me,
does Mike usually have a mustache?
Ask you that 20 years ago, I would never have thought in a million years.
I don't watch him.
So I appreciate that about you, and I appreciate everything that you have given me, given my channel. Like I said, it's
we're giving shit to the fans.
Say, hey man, how's your weekend going? Because I don't want. I also don't want this to just be about, hey, he's a next level gaming. No, it's not about that with me. I I am thrilled to have gotten to know.
He just
you
cummed
better.
himself, didn't he?
And this today,
I feel like he's just creamed
phenomenal.
himself. It's just like, oh, I can't.
To be able to sit here and play your music for you too.
Well,
I'm
Turkey,
like,
Embarrassing,
you know,
I gotta tell you.
no,
I don't do that. I don't have to do that.
he don't do that. He don't kiss the ring.
Self-awareness, bro.
Now there was one more thing that we got to discuss.
There were so many clips you could have taken from that, but I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Same old, same old.
No mustache, cum stash, part of the bad language for the kids in the chat. Yeah, I don't think Mullis was saying the right thing when he said his rule is to leave him out of your videos. I did leave him out of my video. That was a clip from Reddit. But we have one more thing from Reddit to discuss. It is a more serious topic, a more serious matter.
Serious face.
Is this a Goose video? I think that was a Goose video that someone uploaded to Reddit. Now this was really shocking. The person has since deleted their entire Reddit account.
Oh, is this the woman from last week?
It's from 2 days ago. So. That way you guys can see it a little better. It's just a heads up after an incident I just cleared up. This was from Steam-powered internet. As you can see, it now says deleted because he has deleted his account. It says, hey all, long time no talk. I quit posting because I was threatened by a few users on here who told me they would post pictures of my family online for, quote, what I did to Tommy, unquote. I was also bombarded with a lot of personal information that I've never put online, so I have no idea how these people came up with this. One of the ultimatums was deleting my account and or deleting several posts I made. The Lion's Den, quote, was one was targeted, where Tommy Talarico replied to me about manufacturing dates. In the middle of dealing with this, I was also messaged by someone who claims to be an informant for DJC on YouTube and was told that DJC, quote, has it out for me, unquote, and that I was, quote, on his list, unquote, when he used to check out the r/Intellivision_Amico subreddit. I never sought to clarify what that meant. I just quit posting. What I think it means is that DJC has people under him who gather info for him and keep him informed of the activities of specific users online. I'm 90% confident that the person who sent this was the same person who threatened me with photos of my son. I let the multiple accounts people know that I would be filing a police report, and I sent the notices to Reddit admins. Unsurprisingly, Reddit admins did next to nothing. The accounts are now deleted. That is all I'm saying about this. They will be reading this post, so I'm going to keep it short. What I will say about the YouTubers is that the ones who remain are bad people. Cult is not the word to use anymore. This is an online game. The case was just cleared, and I'm safe, but I cannot post any receipts for legal reasons. You'll just have to trust me. Take it easy, guys. It was fun, but I honestly wish I had never fucking posted to begin with.
Jesus.
Mm.
Poor guy. I feel sorry for him. If it's
I
true
mean,
what he said.
DJC is pretty a pretty hardcore rapper, so he might got pulled in the gang.
He might have sent the Insane Clown Posse over there to rough him up.
Well, maybe a couple juggalos.
I do know that Steam-powered internet was always a straight shooter. He's never lied. He never came out with outrageous things. For him to just come out with this and then immediately delete his account.
And was this like super recently?
2 days ago.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
and he did quit posting. He was posting a lot and he was like Gatoru's, how we'd make really detailed and informed posts.
Right, and I've seen quite a few of his posts. It would be weird to pull this ruse at this stage in the game when nobody's really talking about anything. So,
on top of the fact that no one knows he's not known, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's not somebody that everyone knows who he is behind the Steam-powered internet account. So yeah, it would be really weird for he's not getting attention. Like what is what would
Right.
be the end game for this to be fake, right? Like,
Yeah, he's not gaining anything at all.
I do understand the not posting receipts. I understand trying to keep it short and vague and not really get into all the details. To me, it reads like it's real because I've dealt with lots of things. I know that Tommy was having people try to look into me. He did contact a lawyer. We got Top Loaded, who's come back.
Yo,
What's going on? Yeah, there's just a lot of fakeness surrounding it. I mean, there's no reason to doubt it. I mean, we just watched the clip where Mike's two-faced pretty much. I mean, he's got two sides, so it's just weird.
What's up, Trevor? What made you come back?
Amico, I guess. Amico discussion.
It always hooks you.
So what do you feel about this post?
Actually, I didn't hear the post.
I'll give you the TLDR. Some guy named Steam Powered Internet had people contacting him saying that they had pictures of his family. They sent him a picture of his son. They said that if he doesn't take down his post, that he's going to get what he deserves for what he did to Tommy, and that DJC was watching him.
Okay. And what did he post about exactly?
That's what he posted, because then he would make long, detailed posts about like manufacturing and why Tommy's stuff was wrong and why, you know, certain things that they've said, you know, certain claims that have been made, why it would be untrue.
right.
Yeah, it sounds about par for the course. I mean, the thing that I saw that I took issue with is that guy. Was it Nick? I think it might have been, when he said like, why would I risk losing my connections?
Yeah.
Like, oh my, you can't hear yourself. Like,
Right.
it's everything we were saying about these guys. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that you
all
weren't
about
being
the connections
unbiased,
and
right?
yeah,
It's all about them. They don't care.
it's fucking unbelievable. Like, I haven't been paying attention to all the Miko stuff, but to hear somebody just like outright say it like that, that's fucking crazy.
You can't tip the cow at this point in the game.
Gee, to think there's still people like that right now, but to hear someone say that specifically is just fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think all of them at one point during the last Amigo Forever were basically echoing the same thing. Like, we're not going to bother them. I think even Rab was like, well, no, it makes no sense for us to bother them, because then they can't, you know, do what they're supposed to be doing, because they got to take the time out of their day to talk to us about your refunds, and you know they got to do stuff that they got to do in order to make the refunds. It's like, it makes no sense. Like, you have no money, you have no income coming in, they have no plan going forward. Give people their money back, right?
Yeah. How much bother is an email though?
Well, they fired everybody, so Brittany's not there to answer the emails anymore. So,
well, you know, I was gonna say just before I accidentally hit the button, you know, Nick's got like $1,000 into this too. You know, he talks about on the stream how he's got one pre-ordered for himself, one pre-ordered for his mom, I think he's got two pre-ordered for himself, one for his mom, one for his buddy. So yeah, he's got at least 4 or 5 of these things pre-ordered. So
I mean, I don't know. At the same time, like Smash JT had like 10 grand invested plus whatever
it's still
else.
invested.
Yeah. Well,
right.
I think he's foregone the. I think he figures he's gonna lose out on that, you know. But granted, I can't believe it. It took as long for him to, you know, come out and say some stuff, you know.
Well,
but
see, and that's what
credit's due. He finally did.
Right, and I think that's what people are forgetting, that like Smash could have continued the charade, and he might have been one of those guys that could have been promised you know, one of these 10 or 20 units. You know, he might have been able to get his hands on him on one if he could have kept kissing some ass. But that's why I give Smash a little bit of credit. I've always said that I don't agree with all his takes, but at least at the very end he came out. He had 10,000 in the game, and he did go honest to a point. I know it was a little late and people didn't like it, but you got to give the guy some credit. I mean, with the last announcement that Phil made, and these guys are continuing to kick the can, as we've been saying for the last couple of weeks. It's disgraceful. I cannot believe that they're now making excuses of why it's okay for a company to take pre-orders when that pre-order money was guaranteed to be refundable. And it was guaranteed at what was it, the beginning of the year or late last year when they had Phil on and they said it. And it was just a bold-faced lie. So
real quick, One Inch Bicep says, if you pre-ordered one and you want your money back, then contact them and bug Intellivision. You can't expect other people to do that for you. That's not the issue. The issue is people are contacting Intellivision, and Intellivision isn't replying to people's refund request. Now, these gentlemen say they are in direct contact with executives at Intellivision. So any normal person would go, hey, I'm not getting a response. You who are in direct contact with an executive, can you try to facilitate my refund for me? Right? They
the short
revealed this
answer is
information.
no.
Smashes Tom Sugar Daddy.
Yeah, the short answer is no, is because they know they're up shit's creek and there's nothing they can do. There is no money. The money is gone.
I don't think it's all gone. I think they have a little bit left.
Yeah, but they ain't giving it away. But they ain't giving it away. So your best bet is to try to get a chargeback or whatever you can do to call your card and say, hey, look, file a fraudulent claim or whatever. That's the best you could do.
I heard someone on Reddit, was it the Fig campaign? Because they pre-ordered their console through that, they were able to get a refund.
Yeah, because they went.
I'm sure policies are different on certain websites.
Yeah,
so.
but some people were speculating if they could get their investment back. I don't think that's how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
I'll tell you like this. I ordered Loop Hero physically for the Switch through Special Reserve Games. I think it was January 19th. We haven't heard anything, and I'm looking to like possibly get a refund back. But a lot of that has to do with, I guess, the developers of the game were in Russia. I think they're Russian developers. So the sanctions, I guess, put on them, everything with the war in Ukraine and all that stuff, is I think possibly the reason why I haven't seen my copy ship. And it sucks because Special Reserve on Twitter won't answer anything. And I think they need to do their due diligence and own up to what's going on with that. And I know it's kind of out of their hands with everything that's going on, but it's still one of those things where Special Reserve they tell you once you make your order that there are no refunds, but this is a different case. So.
All right, real quick. One Bicep says, but you have to realize they have no power in television. Here's what you need to realize and everyone else needs to realize. These three morons could simply say, hey, guys, we've been asking, they're not answering. And then people would leave them alone. Right? They've lied about so many things. Why not lie about a thing that's going to get people off your ass?
What's one more lie?
So, I mean, they could just be like, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to pass the message off. And they just never do it.
Kool-Aid so much. They can't even fathom doing that for a second. Like, dude, if I was so gone like that, I don't think I could utter those words. Like, do you think, okay, so I have my subscriber base or this random guy that comes comment on my channel. Do you think I'm going to side with that guy that helps me out, or this connection that may or may not pan out? No, fuck you. I'm gonna gamble on this connection that
it's not even gonna pan, like it's already past the point of, is it gonna?
Well, I'm saying from their perspective, they still holding out hope, right? So
they're holding out hope for themselves. Let's get it straight. All they want is their consoles. They don't give a fuck about anyone else.
Yeah, well, Nick's a collector, so he's probably thinking, if I can get one, I'll have this rare item that no one else has. It'd be worth so much money.
Yeah, that's all these guys want.
Ninja Kitty says they'll have to sell off Tommy's toys in his office to pay off the debt. Hey, Sherry says selling the dusty crap on the pool table ought to cover the refunds. I think some people were looking into the items that Tommy was showing off in one of his videos, and there's a good chance that a lot of the things he shows off are actually either reproductions or straight off knockoffs, and they're not the actual items that he's claiming they are.
Really? I would not be surprised.
Yeah, like he shows off Amazing Fantasy 15, and you can see that the it's not centered on the book. It looks like a
And you see,
reproduction.
I never did look at the comic stuff in Smash's video, but I was looking at all the consoles that he was showing.
Well, I
And
think one
didn't
of them was like a
really-
brown box or something.
Was that?
Like one of the original consoles, that the first one that came out was like the brown box, black box, some shit. But he says he's got like one of the 13 that were made and it was signed, and then turns out.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a bullshitter. So I learned that very
brown
quickly
box, yeah.
on.
The brown box. They're supposed to be like, I guess the guy who made like the first console is like made like 13 of them or some shit. And Tommy claims he's got one of the originals, but if you look at it and the way it is and some of the things, you're like, no, that's actually one of the later reproduction models and not the original. That would be worth a lot of money.
Wow.
Just like his Lamborghini, he showed off a Lamborghini and it has like, you could tell it's a body kit and it's been modified. It's not an actual Lambo.
Wait, in addition to the Ferrari?
Yes.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things.
I've been out of the loop, man, and there's a lot of shit I haven't seen. So.
Oh, we completely
the people-
debunked his entire website the other week.
Yeah, a lot of the claims he's made, it's just crazy. It's like his whole life is fake.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I wanted to get to this. Only 4 apparently. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Was that?
Hey, Sherry said there's only 4, not 13. I'm always being fact checked. She has a multipass. I want to get to this clip because they actually asked him about legal troubles. Someone, Armchair QB, says that someone earlier asked if investors have grounds for legal action against Intellivision. What do you guys think on that? Just curious.
I'm going to say here on Armchair Quarterback, I'm guessing that. Someone asked earlier if investors have grounds for legal action against television. What do you guys think of that one? I'm no lawyer, but if they never came out with something, I don't even know. But as far as they're still planning on coming out with a console, they're not dead like a lot of everybody's kind of saying. So if they were dead and not answering anything, then maybe. But I'm not a lawyer, but
Yeah,
I don't think
it depends.
Yeah, if you want to go at this one, Rab.
Also not a lawyer.
So first off, if you say I'm not a lawyer, that doesn't get you out of trouble for making a stupid answer, right? Just saying I'm not a lawyer. Secondly, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know, just be like, I can't answer that, right? There's no need to go on this rambling. Just I don't know. I don't have no fucking clue because I'm not a lawyer. It's real simple. Like the simplest things, like they just can't even do that, right? Like,
I mean, you're not allowing them to speculate at all. That's why I'm laughing.
When your speculation is like,
I mean, as the way I've always viewed it is, as long as you're pointing out that you're speculating, then as long as you're not trying to pass it off as fact, then it does no harm. But
no,
that's just my view.
I think there's speculation from a point of correct information, right? Like if you're speculating based on correct information, then yes, it's fine. But when you're speculating, when you're just pulling shit out of your ass, no, that's I don't think that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say. It's like, okay, coming from an informed point of view or having some knowledge or some data, but this is just like, I'm no lawyer, but let me try to answer the question when these
and it doesn't help that they're biased too. There's
whatever happened to like it's okay not to have an answer to every question.
Yeah, I think the issue is, Trevor, is that we know already that they're not speculating, they're spinning, right? I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think Intellivision could be in trouble because they haven't done anything wrong, guys. They haven't lied and scammed anybody. They're a healthy.
Oh no, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you guys responding right now. Like what?
Oh no, we're allowed to speculate all we want.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh.
You just ask the guys what they think, and unless
I thought you were talking about him because he said I'm not a lawyer. I was like, it's stupid for them to say I'm not a lawyer.
Okay. So let me make sure I'm on task with this because I think yeah, okay. I was confused. Move on. I was on the paused YouTube video and not the StreamYard live clip. So I thought it was the panel talking and it was a clip from the video. My bad. Moving on.
Pro YouTuber at work.
I did that shit on Vito's show. The first time Vito had me on, I accidentally muted the StreamYard and I was listening. And you know how there's a delay?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he's
there's a big
I
delay.
don't understand why there's a delay. And he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, why are you answering like 10 minutes after I'm asking you shit? I'm like, I fucking know. He's like, you know what? Just talk, and then we'll just kick you out because we don't know what's wrong with this shit. I'm like, yep, that went well.
On what happens. Startup companies go under all the time, and as an investor, you are taking a risk in where you put your money. You can put it in. And
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
fund. You can put it, in.
I do think that they're missing the obvious thing, right? A startup trying and failing is different from a startup lying and then failing, right?
Yeah, and also, isn't it more of a fact of there's terms and conditions when you make an investment? If you invest in something and they don't use the money for that or whatever, that's not allowed.
Or if you invest based on a lie.
Yeah.
Right? If Tommy's telling you, hey, we're in talks with Disney and Marvel and we're in talks with, the original creator of ET and we're going to get this new ET game. And that's why you
We're going to have
invested,
our
because you're
Atari
hyped.
Creep play tested too.
Yeah, so you're hyped for this stuff, and it turns out none of it was true. I think that's fraudulent. I'm not a lawyer, but I think it's fraudulent.
I agree.
Finbar says, so saying I'm not a lawyer can absolve you from any legal action? Exactly. It's like when you say with all due respect, like once you say with all due respect, you're allowed to then say whatever you want.
Or this is not financial advice.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just be like, this is not financial advice, but you should invest in Bitcoin right now.
They've been watching too much Gen X Gamer.
Well, it's one of those things where like there's things you're supposed to say, but at the same time, it still doesn't absolve you. Like, speaking of things they're supposed to say, at the beginning of the show, and regularly during the show, and in the description, and in every post that they make in regards to the Amico, they need to legally, they're obligated to say, hey, I have connections to the company. I have material interest in it. And in DJC's case, I have invested money and I have a financial incentive for the company.
I think he does allude to it in this stream. But again, he's done it only recently within the last, like, I don't know, 6-7 months, after he kind of got caught. And the thing
he
is,
downplays it. He doesn't actually.
Right. He downplays it. And it's only, he does it once every few videos now, but it should have been done from the beginning. And and like you said, Tony, it should be a disclaimer every show. So
every video, every appearance they're on.
Anytime they're talking about the Amico.
Anytime.
And in the live stream, it needs to be reinforced. It needs to be repeated like regularly for new viewers who come in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he plays. Like you said, he plays it
these
down.
guys are not figuring that their audience will not be able to trust them anymore.
They don't care. At the end of the day, this is, to me, what it seems like is this is their only shot at getting something they've been excited about for 4 years now. It's their last. They're hanging on to a thread here, and if they fuck this connection up, they're not getting a production run unit or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Well, here's the thing, Trevor. Nick, DJC, Rab, and Mike Mullis had no audience prior to the Amico. The Amico is their audience.
Okay.
Nick has been wallowing in obscurity. Rab tried to do something. He's deleted all of his old content prior to Amico. I think he had a couple videos. He thinks he knows a bunch of stuff, but he really doesn't. DJC, he just came out of nowhere and latched on to the Amico, and that's where he's kind of got his little bit of audience. So as far as them caring about their audience, their audience is Amico. So they don't care. Mike Mullis is a film journalist.
DJC, that's the same guy that Rich did a video on, right?
Yeah, that's the jaw hit the ground video.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, I don't know any of these people.
He embraces it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
One Inch Bicep says, you can't be sued for being a fan. These guys have no contract with Intellivision. They are not employed. They're YouTubers. Incorrect. You can be sued for being a fan if within your fanaticism you're telling people to invest or you're giving people incorrect information about the health of the company. Remember, these are just beyond someone who's like, hey, I like Intellivision. I think it looks good. These are guys are going, I have direct contact with Phil Adam, and he's telling me the company's in great financial condition. And that
they're an arm of the company for sure.
Right? You can't say things like, Tommy Talarico has told me it's going to come out this year, guys. Don't worry about it. That gets people excited. That gets people to invest or to buy games or to make a pre-order. And then when it doesn't come out, they're like, well, this is not my fault. I'm just a fan. No, you made statements that have led people to believe certain things about the financial health of the company and the viability of the product. And now you can't just walk away from those and wash your hands of it by saying I'm a fan. Secondly, DJC has invested in the company, and the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, says that if you invest in a company and you talk about them in a positive or negative light, you need to disclose this information in every single social media post, video, or comment that you make in order for people to know that when they see your comment, they know that you're coming from a position in which you are financially invested into this product.
Like I've learned pretty recently, you can be sued for pretty much anything by anyone as long as you can get the lawyer to take your case.
Right. And that's the thing. Is anything going to happen here to DJC? Probably not. But are these guys breaking rules here and there? Of course they are. I feel like they have been.
Well, they definitely have been, and they can get hit with fines and stuff. And like I said, a lot of things. If the company gets sued, right? Here's the thing that they have to understand. If Intellivision does get sued, then they're going to have a whole big thing where they go to court. They're going to have disclosure and stuff, and then other things will come out. And then when those things come out, the government can say, "Hey, wait a minute, this guy, we could fine these guys a whole bunch of money for all the shenanigans that they've done."
I mean, hell, Intellivision Entertainment could go and sue all these guys too. They're not safe from.
Intellivision can turn around and say, I never told DJC that we were in good financial
Exactly.
health.
Right.
In fact, I told them that we were failing and that we were like struggling to come up with money. That was them lying to you guys.
Yeah.
And I hope they kept their receipts. I hope they kept all the fucking
boy would that be fun to watch unfold.
I just wanted a console, man. Now I'm paying $6,500 a week.
Yeah. And I just wanted to briefly mention, this is going back a few paragraphs, but the FTC did recently update their terms and conditions to try to be more inclusive and cover social media aspects and YouTubers. We covered this a few months ago.
Right.
Well, let me ask this: where is Retro Bro? Like he's still in the Amico gang stuff, or
no? He actually did a video. He actually did a stream while doing an old kind of Geek Getaway throwback where we would watch the entire thing, which is what he did. I think he didn't watch the entire thing, but he went through quite a bit of it, bits and pieces, and called out Nick, Chuck, and Rab here about what they were lying about and all that stuff. So if you guys haven't seen it, I think he did pretty good on the stream. Was a fun one to watch, especially with all the Amico news has been kind of on the down low. So
Tony,
because Smash and Retro were the only two guys I kind of really knew in the gang.
Right.
He says Tony's a cuck for the FCC. FTC. Not the Federal Communications Committee, but the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. You know, the ones that can fuck you in the ass.
The FCC are the ones that won't let you like cuss and swear, right?
Yeah. So I don't care about the FCC. Now the FTC, they can find me. So Retro Bro is now a hater. I think he's gone a little too far. Like like we've never made personal attacks. Some of those videos where the little video where he got them licking the dog poop. That was like.
Oh, it's all in good fun, Tony.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You know it's not. They've called him names and said shit, and he did that.
I did post on Retro Bros channel that Mike Mullis was a tool, but I'm not lying, am I? I mean, come on, the guy's a tool.
No, he is a tool. what I'm saying. That's a factual statement. And Mike Mullis hasn't said anything about you, so that this isn't like you're just responding or you're reacting.
I gotta look up Mike Mullis.
Well, no, Mike. No, from what I hear in the inner workings is that DJC never shadow banned me. That Mike Mullis, it was a mod on his channel, and Mike Mullis is the reason why I'm shadow banned from commenting on DJC's channel. Mind you, I've never said I never attacked anybody on the channel. I was nice from the beginning when I talked to Chuck, so I have no reason why I was shadow banned. But that's what I hear from the inner workings of people that might not be in the cult, but are close to the cult.
All you need to know about Mike Mullis, Trevor, is that he proudly proclaimed that he covered the Phantom console as if it was a real thing. And that was 100% a scam.
What's his channel name?
Original Next Level Gamer.
The thing that they talked about on the stream that really pissed me off when Mike joined was that how Mike had a lot of different consoles to play. You know, he has Dreamcast, he has Xbox, he has PlayStation 5, he has all these things. And he basically alluded to, like, look, I have all these things to play, and I'm okay with the delays and whatnot. But he basically made it sound like if you're not excited for Intellivision and the Amico to come out, then you're just not a gamer. You just don't understand. You're just not a gamer. And I took that personally, because even as someone who collects and probably has more games than Mike Mullis does, it doesn't take this gamer to see that this whole thing has just been a sham from the get-go.
All right, real quick. Balding Bob Ross says, Tony, do you think Bro has any real inside information? I think Retro Bro has outdated information, right? He hasn't talked to Tommy in a while. He hasn't talked to Phil or whatever. So whatever he has is old information.
Right.
So I don't think it would be particularly relevant. It'd be interesting, but it wouldn't be particularly relevant to what's going on now.
Well, the bigger thing was, and then John talked about this, where he understand. I think he understands that he has outdated information, but the fact that he was inside the cult at one point, he knows how these guys think, and how they've communicated with each other. So he has that kind of drop on this particular stream.
Now, Hayde Sherry says, I bet he has a ton of inside info, but who knows how much of it is based in reality. That's the other thing. Like, how much is Tommy saying things like, yeah, we're going to get X, Y, and Z when it's not really true?
Right. Well, I'm sure a lot of it is like that.
I'm sure that there's a lack of receipts for a lot of things. And I don't know if Bro just wants to come out and say stuff without having proof. Like, you know, if you had a conversation on the phone with Tommy and you didn't record it, then it's really hard for you to be like, well, Tommy told me X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I'm not going to believe it. I'm like, well, where's the proof, right? Like,
well, and it's easy to believe it, I guess, because he's been on that side, and you're kind of so geared up, and the haters are so geared up that they just want to believe anything.
Yeah.
So.
I do wonder if there's a little bit of like embellishment of how much he has, because he did that stream, Tell All, will ask me anything, and he was like, oh, I'm only going to tell you if you ask me things. And it's kind of like, well, you've got the goods, tell us the goods.
Yeah. It's hard to know what to ask you if we don't know what the hell you're holding on to, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's hear the rest of Rab's nonsense.
Analysis.
A treasury note, you can put it into a startup, you can put it in a number of places, you can put it in the stock market. You know, it really depends on what Intellivision's actions are and how they follow through with it. If they think they have a case against Intellivision not honoring certain promises or not failing to deliver what they invested in, then yeah, they could have a case. You know, if Intellivision goes under due to, you know, the business climate or due to, you know, actions not of their own doing.
The problem is these people have no money now to sue. They lost it all.
Is that noise coming from Rab or from us?
Hold on, let me mute my mic. It might be me.
I'm on mute.
then no, they're not going to have a case. They can bring up a case, but it will be, it will be either dismissed or someone taking it. They that's for a judge to decide. I don't think, with Intellivision running into financial trouble as it is right now and not being able to get out the manufactured units by the dates that they had tried to get out, there's grounds for legal action by investors. That is a risk you take when you invest in a startup.
No, see that's where, again, he's wrong, because when you tell people we're on the launch pad, we just need a little bit more fuel, that's a totally different situation from give us money, we're going to try to make a product, right?
Yeah, or even start a business.
Yeah, they essentially
startup, surely.
Yeah, Bob, you sound like you're really far away from your mic.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to breathe into it.
If the noise is bullshit, then it's rab. No, it was like a rattling. Like, it sounds like a bag, like a plastic bag rattling. I think it's rab.
Is it? It's not still going on? Because sometimes
No, it was only going on when the video plays.
Okay, good.
I think he's jerking it under the table. To his own bullshit. He's like, I'm bullshitting him so well. But yeah, like there's a real big difference between saying I need money to try to make a product versus I have a product, I need money to manufacture said product, right?
Yeah.
They essentially said, we have everything done. We just need money to manufacture.
I mean, they fought with us.
Later.
Yeah, they fought with us for 2 years on this. 2 years later, we're being told that, we're not done. The controllers they still got bugs. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we said about the controllers, about manufacturing, about product, all came to be true, right? They didn't have anything ready. The back end wasn't done.
Meanwhile, we were being told that we were liars and we were making things up, and that certain guys within this cult, DJC said, claimed to be the official news authority. So,
yeah, we were hate journalists.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it didn't work for him. It turns out, you can't just watch a couple of gaming historian videos about the Wii and capitalize on the Wii's success.
I just can't believe that you had $17 million and you couldn't even shit out a product, right?
Was it their intent to shit out a product? That's the question.
Well, I was talking to a few people. Apparently, they believe they were intending to shit out a product, but they were a couple of million short from manufacturing by their analysis. Well,
here's what I know for a fact, and this is not speculation. This is fact. Okay, they approached the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said, "Here's the deal we can work out with you. We will be a turnkey operation. You give us money, we produce you product," right? Then Intellivision turned around and said, "We need a line of credit of $150 million of manufacturing credit." And the company said, "We cannot provide you with a line of credit, but we can produce your product. Just give us money and we'll produce your product." At that point, they had $17 million, right? They said no. That's why they went to ARC, and they convinced ARC to give them the $150 million line of manufacturing credit.
So is that the deal that they had to give so much of the console's price back to them, or
no? That's a totally different thing.
Guy. Okay.
Yeah. So after they went to ARC, right, they still weren't ready. They still weren't ready to manufacture. So when ARC said, "All right, guys, we got everything set aside for you. We spent $1 million. We took your deposit. We spent it. We bought $1 million worth of parts. Let us know when we can start firing up the machines. Give us the rest of the payment." Intellivision said, "We don't have it. We're not ready." And then ARC said, "Well, we're keeping your money per our agreement. You can't have these products, these things that we bought, because when you buy parts, like ARC's going to buy, say, like 10,000 parts, and they're going to get a certain price. Then they also get a certain price because they're ARC, right? Because they're a big company, so they're able to negotiate better prices. So they're not going to give Intellivision the $1 million worth of parts because they paid for it at a cheaper price. Whereas if Intellivision had bought those parts themselves, that would be like $3 million worth of
threefold,
parts,
right?
So that's why they're like, no, you can't have these products because what we paid for them is not the price you would have paid for them. So it's not an equal trade anymore, right? These are special prices for us, and we'll just keep this shit. So that's why they're out 1.3 million for ARC. Now, Sudesh was a loan that they gave in order to try to pay ARC in order to start the manufacturing, but they still weren't ready to go. What they were going to shit out at that point, I have no idea. But this was like late last year where they like, hey, Sudesh, give us money so we could try to shit something out.
You know, I really wonder if this worked out for ARC with the chip shortage and everything.
Possibly. But at the same time, if they can't use those chips or the parts that they bought for anything else, they're still just sitting on 1.3
Oh, right.
million.
They're screwed.
What I can't get over is the controller. I really can't get past the idea for it, the concept.
They can't get past the bugs. So,
here's the thing, Trevor.
If Tommy thought, right, this is going to be revolutionary, whatever. If you think you're going to revolutionize controllers, right, is that going to be something like completely new that we haven't seen before? Or is it going to be shoehorned in with almost a half a century's old controller into the design?
Well, it was shoehorned in. And him being as vain as he is, I don't think, and is out of touch with gaming, is he didn't see that these are things, and this is why I always bring in like the Playdate. This is something that he just thought was going to be big, but has been so out of touch in gaming that he doesn't realize like things like the DS exist, and there's ways to play like touchscreen games and simple games. There are these experiences. Now, when I look at like Playdate had something that's
different.
It's different. Not everybody likes the crank, but and it basically is just an analog flip sideways turned into like a cranking motion. But it's different. It's something that really had people talking. Whether you like it or you don't like it is one thing. To me, the Intellivision controller was just a nostalgia grab to say, hey, look, this almost mimics what Mattel did, and we're going to make it, the best we can make it. But nobody asked for that. You know what I mean? It's like we've said millions of times on the show, like, what is this controller doing that couldn't be done elsewhere? And we were told that we were crazy, and now they're coming out telling us that games are going to be featured elsewhere. So it's just a joke.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, first off, I'm going to read this comment from Finbar. It says, the controller is one of those non-negotiables that Tommy had in his head and was too stubborn to see how much of an albatross it became in the production of the console. 100% true. I think, now Tommy is not a tech guy. Tommy's like me, right? I don't know shit about tech. I can come up with an idea. I can be like, hey, guys, let's make a new controller that fucking it jerks you off, and it fucking spends time with you, and it tells you how lovely you are. I don't know how to design that, right? I can't make that into reality.
But it's not,
I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know.
Right, it's not practical, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying beyond the practicality, right? I don't know what it takes.
He's not an engineer.
I can't engineer.
Right.
I don't know any of that stuff, right? So when Tommy came up with this idea, his idea was to make this super controller that's going to have a touch screen, and in his mind, it was going to be like a fucking DS. It was going to be like basically a DS in your hand plus controller, right? And then the reality was, in order to make that, like in order to make a DS, it's going to cost more than the fucking console to make it. And then now you're going to have two controllers like that?
Right.
So then they're like, dude, we got to cut back on this. We got to do this. We got to lower this, the specs, and all. What you want is going to cost way too much. It's like basically a fucking mini console within the console, right? It's like, no. Like, so.
Right, two handhelds and the console, right.
Yeah, so when the controller finally got designed, they're like, this is the best we can give you, and it's just shit, right? And at that point, he should have been like, oh, well then fuck it, don't do it, right? But he was too stubborn, like Finbar says.
Can you highlight Sherry's comment real quick?
This one?
Yeah. So responding to that, when I asked him about that, because he was doing this pitch, we test marketed, I think he was saying 7 to 10 or whatever his age group of kids were that they were testing. And in all the cases, we had the Switch controller, the Xbox controller, and the PlayStation 4 controller, and we had our controller, and they all went to our controller every time. And I said, well, yours has a touch screen on it, a flashing that they can play with. Did you also put a smartphone since you're going after the mobile market, like you said? And I think personally that he lied in that instance. Every single time he mentioned that before.
I don't think he lied.
You don't think he lied?
Nope.
Why didn't he mention the phone in any other interview when he gets to that talking point? That's why I think he lied.
Well, he might have lied about the phone, but I don't think he lied about the kids going to the controller.
No, I'm saying I think he lied about the phone being like just to save face, to not get a little negative point or whatever. He said, "Oh yeah, we had a phone on there."
Yeah,
that's what I think he lied about. I don't think he's lying that they grabbed it. I think that's completely believable because it's got a screen on it.
Well, it doesn't make any sense anyway. What's the if I lined up a bunch of controllers, right, with no console to play?
Yeah.
What does it matter what they picked? Hey, here's 6 controllers on the table. We're not gonna actually play any games. Just pick one up.
Yeah.
And
were the lights on? On these controllers?
Or were they just flat, off? Right.
And as a kid, if I went, oh look, there's 4 controllers that have no console, and that thing's got like a screen on it. I wonder what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but then you put a smartphone on there, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, we did that." But I looked back on a lot of the interviews, and he never mentioned the smartphone in that group of things.
Yeah, he lies about everything. When Tommy talks, he lies. When you question him about Contra, that was also great.
Yeah, dude, he would make up things as he went along. Things would change. I mean, going back to what he was saying about the crank, why that thing had a shot? It's because the CEO didn't force himself and get interviewed by every little gaming channel, and he didn't say, "Oh, well, every game going forward is going to have to utilize the crank, and it's absolutely a make or break," or wasn't saying like people are gaming racists and
No, in fact they even understood themselves and said, "Hey, look, you might not like all the games that we're going to offer you, but you're going to have fun with it." You're right, they didn't shove it down anybody's throat. And the biggest thing that the biggest hurdle that they're dealing with right now is just getting the unit out into everybody's hands. But at least they can say, unlike in television, the unit is out. So
yeah, real quick, let's rapid fire these comments. Hayde Sherry says, but they had $150 million production line of credit. Yes, but a production line of credit, it's not like $150 million that they could use for anything. They could only use it to produce consoles. And if they're not manufacturing anything, that $150 million.
It's useless, right?
Yeah, it's useless. Basically, what it is the company says, hey, you tell us to start making consoles and we'll start making them. And then after you sell them, you can give us back that money that you owe us. That's basically what it is. It's like we make now, you pay later type situation. Joshua Perez says, some Amico devs have said Intellivision had the intent of releasing something. Well, a developer is obviously going to think that, right? You don't go to a developer and go, hey, make a game, but we're not actually going to make a console. No, you lie to them and be like, hey, we're going to make this console, so can you make a game for us? Developers are not in there with the console being made. They're not console developers. As far as the console developers, though, those people, again, Tommy and them are not going to lie to them and be like, we're not going to tell them the truth. Like, no, guys, this is all a scam. What are you doing? They're going to be like,
right,
hey,
they need all the pieces of the puzzle for this to come together. And if they didn't have it, they wouldn't be getting investment money. So,
yeah. All right, I'm going to get to the rest of this video.
But again, I'm not giving legal counsel here. Right. I'm just saying this is the way investing in startups work. A lot of them don't pan out. And
I was
television is not out of the game. They are still
Yeah,
in
if they weren't
operation.
doing
They just sent an
anything,
update
yeah.
to you guys 2 weeks
Quick shout out to Sweet and Tender Hooligan for having the balls to ask this.
ago that they have, secured a deal, secured a couple of deals. They told you about the one with BBG. So they are still in the fight. They are still looking forward to getting these things produced as soon as they can.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here kind of waiting to see what comes next.
We're just when it comes down to it. Let me just address this really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
We're when it comes down to it, we're
I
just
tried to
fans.
address some other questions that came up that were directed specifically at me that I haven't had time to answer.
Oh, okay.
Man, they talk over each other more than us.
It gets really bad in this. This stream was really bad. It almost at a point seemed like nobody was really talking to each other.
What does it say on the comment at the bottom?
Well, that's what I'm going to read real quick. It
Oh,
says,
okay.
at panel, if there was a lawsuit because of what Tommy Talarico did, do you think YouTubers like you guys would be complicit or also in trouble? Honest question. I think it's all on Tommy in this case.
I saw something from
On
you
air.
too. I don't know what the original question was.
I was just
so
gonna
I'm not
say, I
trying
don't-
to ignore you. Just another viewer. I just didn't see your previous question.
Yeah, I as far as like when people were saying, you guys feel like you'd be like in trouble or complicit or blah 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 blah. I mean, I've never if you could find a clip where I did, I've never said, hey, you guys need to do this. You guys need to do this. I always say I'm
That's
excited about
bullshit.
this. Hey, like when the games came out, I'm like, hey, these are still available to order on television. I ordered 3 sets. Because I'm crazy and I like to collect boxes for my shelves. I put money. I've told a million times. I put some money on that
What's
profit
up,
sharing.
CM Retro?
He's said a million times, guys. We've been wrong. He's been saying it a million times that he invested. Unfortunately, that million times was all in the last month.
Aren't these the same guys that were deterring people from criticizing it in any way?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And see, that's the biggest joke about this is that they only really started to shed the light when they were forced to because of the actions of what happened at the end of last year and what's going on through the beginning of this year. These guys got to remember a year ago, 2 years ago, didn't want to touch this subject. They weren't talking about the criticized part. And now they're acting like they've been talking about it all along, which is bullshit.
And when I made a video about the FTC like a long time ago, like the first one I made. They were all like, "No, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. The FTC is not going to get us in trouble. We don't have to say nothing." And DJC would always be like, "I only invested a little bit. It was no more than $1,000, guys. It was only no more than that."
How much did he invest?
He never said. He only says no more than 1,000. But 1,000 was the minimum that you could invest on a Republic.
So he didn't do the original one.
Nah,
The original
DJC
one
has been saying for a while.
was
If you
fake,
didn't hate
right?
him, you'd admit. Well, when I say in the last month, I'm being exaggerating. He has said it a while, but he hasn't said it from the day he invested. He didn't say it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
from
until
the
after
get-go.
we found out. Then he started admitting it because we started talking about it. Yeah, he has 3 sets of the games. 3 sets.
I don't know if that.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, I'm getting called into work. I'm gonna have to take off, guys.
All right.
See y'all later.
Liz.
Consider me an investor, and I didn't try to float the company $1 million or anything. Like I don't have that money, dude. I'm poor, but I have more money back here that I could. But I don't want to get rid of it because I love it, But I could be very well off on some of these games.
I replace judges every other month. I'm curious what.
But I could also.
That's
I'm also
funny.
going to say, hey, I love the Analog Duo.
What it is
They're about to.
people think that
They're going on pre-order too.
YouTube
Does that
Can you
mean
pause this for a second?
I don't.
They're all talking over each other.
It's really bad. Yeah, it gets, like I said, they're all talking at one point. It doesn't seem like anybody's talking to one another. But can we just acknowledge how funny it was that Chuck said he could be pretty well off with his collection behind him of Intellivision games.
Pretty well.
As someone who has over 1,700 games in their collection, I have a lot of great games in my collection. I'm nowhere near being well off. We're talking about maybe 50, 60 grand in my collection, and by the time I sold it, it might be $30,000-$40,000.
Maybe he's Detroit poor well off. I don't know.
Not even that money could save me in Detroit.
Juggalo well off. Tony's heart is full of hate. Hate. What's up, Love
Black.
Square Gamer? They're the same people who said they wouldn't cancel pre-orders after the SEC info came out. All several of us were recommending to get their refunds right away. Yeah. Not only did they not say to cancel, they actually told people that they should hold on to it because there was going to be a price increase. Remember that?
Oh, Mike was right. This was right around the time that they talked to Phil, and Mike was like, "Hey, look, like if you know, we're locked in right now, but if you go and cancel it, you're not going to be locked into that price point. It would be a mistake." So yeah, they definitely pushed hard on that fact.
And I'm pretty sure all of these guys here, every time that they announced a new ship date, all these guys were like, "See, guys, it's coming out. It's real. It's going to here 10/10/2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10/10/2021. Guys, make sure you're all ready to go." So they might not have said, "I think you should," or "go buy an Amico," but they sure as hell said a lot of things that implied that you should do it, and that would be a good idea to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, Phil Adams said that those who held on to their pre-orders would be rewarded. It's like a cult to be rewarded. I don't know what the hell Rab is saying. He's been like mumbling, and I can't hear him over DJC, and now Nick seems to be jumping in.
It gets really bad.
I don't think we'd be pulling any legal action. There's not going to be any legal action. There was no money exchanged. There were no promises made to us. Nothing was going on. This is strictly a fan podcast.
It's just fans.
That's all
fans
it is.
As
to the comments on it.
This is going to be Exhibit 5 in the trial of Amico Forever.
About what other people about the refunds. I've said this once. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I don't totally understand the massive outrage. I understand a little bit better now that you guys are saying about the promise and that money's protected, et cetera, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
I get that. I also know that this company went into, holy crap, we need to survive mode. And so that
doesn't give them any right to swindle, 100% guaranteed, which you sat here and told people 2 years ago or however long it was, that they were, don't worry, your money is protected. And now we're backtracking here. We're backpedaling. It makes me sick.
Not just that, but you have to, again, understand that if them holding on to the money is not going to release a console, is not going to keep the company into financial, viability, then they're stealing it, right? They need to give it back. There's only two options here. They give you back the refunds and they fold up, or they don't give you back the money and they go on to be a successful company so that they didn't have to give you, right? Because they're going to deliver a product. But we know that the amount of money that they're holding on to is supposedly just a little bit, right? There's only a couple pre-orders. It's not that much, guys. So then that money is not going to be enough for them to manufacture consoles and get this shit out. Because it hasn't been enough for them to manufacture and get shit out for the last 2 years, right? These pre-orders were not done like a month ago. This isn't like a month ago. Like, guys, it's only been a month. They've been holding on to your money. They've been holding on to this money and spent it
right
over the last 2 years.
I mean, we knew from the SEC filing that they only had a few months, which was supposed to end around what time? Like July. So it blows my mind how they're still.
But that was 2 months with full staff. Then they laid everybody off.
Right, but it still blows my mind that they're still operating right now. And even with that pre-order money, I just don't see anything positive coming out of this. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to answer for the pre-order money, because they're eventually this is just going to be a fold-up operation, and there are going to be a lot of people without their $100 back. And they're going to have to answer to it. So,
yeah. Well, the thing is, they don't have to be doing anything, right? They closed down all the offices. They've laid off everybody. Even if Phil's not getting a contract or getting a salary.
Well, they're not spending any money.
If they're not spending any money or making any money, they can technically be in business, quote unquote, right? And not do anything.
Oh, they could be in business for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, they're surviving. No, that's not, it's not a real business. They're not doing
They're
anything.
hiding.
Yeah. No Square Gamer says the outrage is because they have contact with Intellivision, but refuse to ask them about the progress of the promised refunds or progress about the console. If they don't have the money for refunds, why would you believe they have money to manufacture? Exactly. That's what we've been saying all night. Like, these guys don't have enough money to manufacture because they don't even have enough money to give refunds.
I mean, Phil's putting these things together in his parents' basement like a Lego set, bro.
Yeah. It would be like, here's the thing, right? If Intellivision came out and said, guys, we can't give you your refund money because we spent that money on this manufacturer, and here's the production, and look at the Mikos being made, that would be one thing, right? But for them to just be like, oh, we just can't give you your money back because reasons. That doesn't fly. That doesn't pass mustard. Either you have it and you have to give it, you should give it back, right? Or you don't have it and just admit that you don't have it, right? Like, sorry guys, we spent that shit.
So, I mean, real question, what do you think is going to be the next thing that Phil Adams says? Is it going to be more kicking the can down the road, or is it going to be the final?
I think as long as Miko Forever and people like us exist, they're going to constantly kick the can down the road. They're hoping that one day we'll just stop talking about it, and then they can just quietly close up shop. No Square Gamer says, I wouldn't be surprised if only Phil and John are working at home, unpaid, trying to cobble together some units for legal protection. From what I heard, again, very reliable source told me that basically they contacted like an ex-developer and asked them to work for free, essentially, to try to finish up the console.
Well, here's the big problem. How do you offer like a 90-day or a year's worth of warranty? Don't they have to offer a warranty?
I don't know if they have to, but they probably should. CM Retro says, I'm sorry that's not an excuse either. How many streams did Tommy go on and say they were 100% refundable? Not only did they say they were 100%, not only did Tommy say they were 100% refundable, he implied that they were in escrow, and Mr. Rab himself said he believed that the money was in escrow. Guys, don't worry about it. It's all taken care of.
Rational. Okay, let me rephrase it. Let me scratch rational. As a person who looks at this, I guess, as just a business trying to survive standpoint, rather than somebody who's just looking at this as just trusted money, I suspected, I didn't know, nobody said anything to me. I had no promises, no inside information on us at all.
You make that
they
real
might
clear.
dip into that money because they were trying to survive. So when it comes down to keeping the doors open and getting a product out, or keeping that money aside and completely closing the door so they can hand that money back,
don't have one, Chris.
They were going to go with the option that keeps the doors open. They were always going to do that.
So they went with the option that kept the doors open, but didn't actually manufacture a console. Ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and watch the whole thing. We're not going to go over.
Screams professionalism, if you ask me, Tony.
Yeah. So as we can see, we have goons that are out there harassing people. We have idiots on a panel basically telling you that they don't care that you're not going to get your refund back, and they're not going to hold Intellivision's feet to the fire. And of course, we have a quote-unquote journalist who complains about other journalists and says that people suck or kiss the ring of Xbox head Phil Spencer, while simultaneously telling Tommy Talarico how much he loves him on several occasions.
Irony.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the fan polls for the week. If you came in late, rewind about an hour. I think we spent like an hour on Amico to get your Amico fix, to get your Gen X Amico fix. I was slapping my arm.
I'm an addict. It wasn't enough, Tony. It wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough? Some people got offended that Gen X does that. Can you believe that?
Well, I can believe it, but should you be offended? Probably not.
Something about they have drug addicts in their families or something.
Well, get them off the crank. Oh, shit. I need to get off the crank.
All right. So let's get to the weekly polls. Some people need to fuck off. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think we had 3 questions this week. All right. So the first question was, which coffee company is the best? Starbucks, Gregory's, Coffee Brand Coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, or other? See below. And surprisingly, I thought Gregory's was going to be number 1. even though I spelled it wrong, as Gregory's. Thanks, Bob, for noticing that.
I think I commented, "Who the fuck drinks coffee?"
Yeah. In the comments here, we got Gregory's easy without question. Also, the logo being so close is hilarious to me. Come on, it's Gregory's, hands down. Coffee, who drinks coffee? Ooh, I didn't see this one. Cultured coffee and waffles, never heard of that. Tony's Coffee, try Carmelita, never heard of that. Myself in Comics says actual coffee from cafes. My caps lock is stuck, suggests Black Rifle Coffee. And Mickey Fan Tommy says Harry's Coffee.
How about Big B Coffee? Didn't it used to be Beaner's Coffee?
Whoa. Come on,
yeah, but that's why they changed it. It used to be called Beaner's Coffee, and they changed it because it was offensive. They call it Bigsby or Big B Coffee.
All right, so 137 votes for the question: are you a quote-unquote real gamer? 31% said yes, 21% said no, and 48% said there is no such thing as a real gamer. Do you think there's such a thing as a real gamer, Gary?
Yes.
Balding Bob Ross says, you know what I'm tired of? Nick acting like a big shot. He has a good job, IT job. He has no kids, and I imagine nice little house. Cool, spend your money the way you want, but you're no money guru. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. These are all upper class people who are acting like lower class people. Shouldn't complain about money. $100 to them might not be a lot, but $100 to someone who is kind of poor and was hoping for a family-friendly console, it could be a big deal, right? Especially in this economy.
To me, the whole $100 argument is irrelevant. It's passing the responsibility off onto people who are, I guess, poor instead of holding Intellivision accountable for their actions. So,
are you a real gamer, guys?
Oh, I am. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, there's definitely a difference, Tony. I think there's obviously why there's casuals. There's people who play to just pass some time, and it's something that they do on their phones or whatever. And then there's people who live and eat and breathe gaming. I think I'm one of those guys. Like, I'm constantly looking up indie games and playing things that a lot of people wouldn't play. So I think there's a difference. It's not that like, hey, I think I'm better than you, but I do think that like I'm more in tuned into gaming. And I would agree, Bob is like, he's got a slight different taste, but yeah, I'd say Bob is up there. I think we're gamers.
What do you think, Blinded? Quality input.
Yeah, quality input. Yeah, I never really understood this argument. I mean, we're gamers in this community, so
I think
I kind of see Gary's point, though.
I think that real gamer is a thing, and here's my interpretation of a real gamer. Anybody that chooses gaming as their primary hobby is a real gamer. Anyone who plays games is a gamer, right? But if you had the choice, they say, what do you want to do for fun after work, right? If you're like, oh, I want to watch TV, then you're not a gamer. If gaming is your number one choice, 9 times out of 10, or even we'll say 6 times out of 10, then you're a real gamer.
Right, it's a good way to put it.
Right. So, like I said, if the primary entertainment that you get in your life is gaming, then I consider you a gamer.
What about watching games live? If you just watch live stream games,
then you're not a gamer because you're not playing. You're a viewer.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a tuber.
I'm not a basketball player because I sit around and watch basketball games, right?
True.
So it's the same thing. I agree with No Swear Gamer. He says the Pro Amico supporters who say $100 is not a big deal should offer to refund someone else's pre-order themselves. I mean, it's just $100. Yeah, buy up the pre-orders.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I like that.
1 Inch Bicep says, I think I knew not to take the risk of putting $100 up for the Amico because I'm smart. I told others how to, but no one listened.
We all tried to warn them. We did. There was a lot of us.
Yeah, I was called an idiot. All right, so here's the last poll. 91 people voted. Would you buy a $7 Geek Getaway coffee mug? 11% said yes. I like
that. I said yes. Where are those
89%
mugs?
said no. Stop e-begging, creepy Kermit.
That's not. How is that e-begging? You're offering a product.
I don't know.
Craziness. That was Darius Truxton in the crew voting.
I think because I put that, a lot of people are like, I'm going to be
E-begging.
funny. With that said, the What's Up Meatbag coffee mug is not going to be $7. The minimum I can charge is $8.50, I think, according to StreamElements.
Can we get like a hold on?
Free coffee mugs.
Can we get like a cultist tears mug?
We could. I mean, there's a lot of ideas. I'm going to solicit ideas from the community.
I thought you could like do like Team Gary, Team Bob, Team Blinded, Team Tony.
Oh, there we go.
Getaway branded merch. So if like the viewers like particularly liked a personality on the show, they could buy that T-shirt or whatever.
I think we got polls for next week, Tony.
All right. I will read the comments on this poll here. I'm sure they're great. Eating Pace says, I voted no since I don't buy mugs. I think your logo would look good on merch, though. Tommy Amico says to fill with Gregory's coffee. Movie Madness says, I have to fill it with my coffee brand coffee. I would get one. That's a good price. It is a good price. Too bad that they won't let me charge that much. Tommy Amico says, I used my Amico calculator, and I can tell you that you've already got at least 3 free pre-orders. And, of course, Bomberny TV says, I want a Geek Getaway mug and a T-shirt. Don't listen to the haters. Make some merch, my dude. How's there 31 comments? And I don't see 31 here.
Well, there's 12 under mine.
A lot of people fucking with you? Celine235 says, so are you saying that those that don't want to buy coffee mug are haters? Do you go around buying everything you see out there? I put that's not what he's saying. It's not what he said.
Yeah, arguing with some idiot online.
Yeah.
Just nitpicking and being mad.
I think
cope.
What Bob was saying is if you don't want me to make merchandise, you're a hater. Not that if you don't buy one.
I was just saying that the poll might be skewed because there's haters, whatever.
Yeah, that was definitely a cope. The fuck was that comment?
Yeah. Why
it's
make
a
such
joke.
big deal?
Relax.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
Cope.
So
there is a coffee. I got to get what the hell's his name? Blinded. I got to get Blinded to help me. Fuck. Because I need a PNG of my logo and a PNG of the frog here.
Yeah, that's easy to do.
Don't be using my image on no coffee mugs.
Oh, we are. We're gonna use a PNG of the Gary character.
I have not given them permission.
You've given us by being on this show. You have given permission. Didn't you see your contract? Don't you remember the media release form that you signed?
Son of a bitch.
So here, hold on. I'm going to show you the proposed mug that I got going here.
Oh, sneak peek.
Sneak peek at the merch.
Oh, I really like that. That's sick.
That is pretty nice. Side?
Oh, I love it.
Is there any way to get the nice big fat coffee mugs? Because like,
yeah, same.
I got like being sick. Like this morning, I woke up and I do this thing that my mom always did. I don't know, it's like an old remedy thing, but I usually get into the tub, like a really hot bath, and then I'll eat some Campbell soup to kind of sweat out the cold. So I usually use the big chunky mugs so that I can fill up the whole thing with soup. I don't think a standard mug is big enough for that though.
No,
I need a big chunky mug.
Don't worry,
Just
Gary.
as
I'll make some offshoot brand big mugs.
I was thinking maybe mouse pads.
Ooh.
Hmm.
T-shirts, man. T-shirts, definitely.
Are we still in a world where people are using mouse pads? They haven't come
I use a
come
mouse
up
pad.
with, but I'm saying they haven't come up with a good idea to put just something on the bottom of the mouse.
No.
Nah, people want something nice on their desk.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they
Finbar
can't
says my
put
comment
like
never
pads.
showed up. Your comment never showed up, Finbar?
I have like a giant desk pad.
My friends gave me a mouse pad with RGB for my birthday.
Oh, hold on.
I've seen those ones.
We gotta go back to the thing. Finbar's
By
upset.
the way-
Your comment shows up. Here's the thing. I don't understand YouTube sometimes, right? If I put it by top comments, right, because that's the default sorting, top comments.
It cuts some off.
Yeah. Then if I go to new comments first, there's Finbar. Fuck the cup, just pour it in my hand for a time. Great reference to "I'm gonna get you, sucker."
I was gonna say, but Bob, how's the you got the PC build done? How's that running for you?
Oh, it's running sweet. I haven't stress tested it or ran any games, but it's running cool. It's running fine. My RGB's all flashing. It's sick.
No swear gamers, you should totally sell a "I hate e-beggars" mug. Someone else wants a Colt action figures.
Bro, that'd be hilarious.
Hey, Sherry says she has a kitty paw mouse pad. I have a pure ownage mouse pad. That's what I use.
We need to get
It's
someone.
fine.
We need to get someone to produce an action figure set of like the haters versus the cultists.
I think it's nice to dream big. I think a coffee mug, just one item at the moment, would be enough. I don't know if it'll be my logo, the actual Geek Getaway logo. I don't want it to be personalized just towards me, because we are a group effort here. So I gotta think.
The Frog King mug is a sick one.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, like I said, because it's not a PNG, I just put a white background. I thought, oh, the white is going to be fine on a white mug. And then when it actually shows the mug, you can see the white is a different white from the mug white.
Yeah, needs to be transparent.
I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out. With that said, I think we're done for the day. Blinded is still outside. Saggy Melons Fupa fanny pack? Yeah.
Let me.
Top Loaded said he wanted to bring up the re-release of GoldenEye and how Nintendo basically ruined it.
How did Nintendo ruin it?
He said, as they've made online multiplayer exclusive for Switch, I'm pretty mad about that.
That's not a Nintendo thing. That's Microsoft. What the fuck?
Is he talking? They didn't. Yeah, they're the new the remaster.
Yes, there's a remaster. It's only on
it's
Xbox.
not. Yeah, they showed during the direct that it was only the Gold 007 was only going to be on NSO.
No, that's where I think people are getting confused.
There's two different things.
Yeah, there's the original GoldenEye, which is going to be on Nintendo Switch Online, which is
that is not a remaster.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think he's confused. I think he's getting. There is a remaster.
Right. We talked about this. We didn't know whether that was going to come to Switch, and you guys were right. You guys were right in saying that it was only going to be NSO, which is what they confirmed in the direct.
No. See, Gary, you're not listening. The GoldenEye remaster is not going to be on anything other than the Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary is saying that. Yeah.
Well, the other GoldenEye.
No, the original is going to be on NSO. Just the plain original 64. Yeah.
Okay, because I think I could swear you keep saying remaster when you say NSO.
No.
The remaster.
I'm gonna go back and watch this at the end.
I might have, but that's not what I meant. Yeah, I understand that the remaster is only for the new fancy fandangled consoles, and we're getting just a NSO original GoldenEye 007. I understand.
All right.
The point we was trying to make is that the online is going to be exclusive to Nintendo, and it isn't going to be on the Xbox version, as far as we know.
Yes, which is weird because
That is
the game is a remaster.
insanely
So you can make
crazy.
it better.
Right, that's insanely crazy. That's
But-
the whole point for the remaster.
Yes.
I don't even know if there's weird wordings going on. Like, it's not very clear. Like, I don't know. Has it been confirmed that the Xbox has no online at all?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
well-
been confirmed.
That's insane. Oh,
It's right
who's
in
gonna
the
buy it
any
then?
press release. It says it.
Who's gonna want it? Like,
Well, no one's gonna buy it because it's free. If you have Rare Replay, you get it for free. And then if you what's it called? If you have Game Pass, you also get
Game
it for free.
Pass. Oh, so it
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
How did? Oh, that's fucking crazy. What a missed opportunity. So they fucked GoldenEye 007 up like twice now, right?
Well, I wonder if there was some backdoor deal that the only way, because Rare is owned by Microsoft now, so Nintendo obviously wanted GoldenEye for the Switch, and Microsoft wanted their remaster for Xbox. So I wonder if there's a negotiation there, and Nintendo was like, "Well, we want the online exclusive then. If you want to have."
Ooh, how do they make that deal though?
That's a crazy deal. I don't think I could believe that.
Well, it's possible, but I don't know.
It's just because it's like everybody knows Nintendo's online system is terrible.
Then why,
So
then why hasn't GoldenEye Remaster got online? Because
that's what no
It's
one
a head scratcher,
understands.
right? It doesn't make any sense at all.
I think what could be is that they're remastering the multiplayer and they're going to announce it later. That's what I think because it just
It'd be
doesn't make
separate.
sense.
Maybe add more to it.
Yeah, because
I
like
mean,
why
that could be a thing,
wouldn't
right?
you? Because yeah, people do complain about the multiplayer, but I'm saying like if you're going to completely drop it
That
in a
doesn't make any sense
remaster,
at all.
it doesn't make
No.
sense. Yeah, just
'Cause
remaster
I
it.
mean, that's what people are looking forward to. Finally being able to like play with people across the world and something that they loved when they were kids. So that's a head scratcher. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
the other little interesting thing I heard, I don't know how true this is. Apparently, this remaster is slightly different to the leaked 360 remaster. It's not the same port.
I think that's what was like in the rumor back in February because we talked about this.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah, definitely a weird story. We'll have to see.
Well, I do know that the rights are split between Nintendo and Microsoft.
Nintendo and
for the game.
right,
Mhm.
Rare, yeah.
So it could be a situation where Nintendo prior to the whole thing were given the online rights to the game.
Well, they're saying, hey, look, you guys don't have to make a support, but we want the online functionality.
No, but what I'm saying is from the beginning, when they signed the contract with Rare, all online rights to the game might have fallen to Nintendo in that original contract. So now when they remaster it, Nintendo still has the online rights to the game.
Well, that still doesn't make sense. Rare is Microsoft.
But it
Why would
doesn't
Microsoft
matter
make-
if Nintendo
make a deal?
has the rights to the online, to any possible online. It's like if I made a deal with you guys, I said, hey, if this show ever gets picked up for network, I own your likenesses, right? So I could have someone else play Blinded. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I own it.
Well,
I made the deal.
Yeah, but you wouldn't sign the deal though. That's what I'm trying to say. Microsoft
here's
is the one they'd have to.
Well, here's the thing that's weird. Are we talking about going back all the way to
Yes.
the 64? Well, so here's the thing. Is there multiplayer in the Xbox, the remastered version?
No.
There's no
Local
multiplayer at all?
Local
There's
multiplayer.
it's local, but it's for single
Okay.
player. Yeah.
Okay,
So you could
there
do a
is like a split screen for
Yeah.
okay. That makes
Yeah.
more sense. But here's the thing that really doesn't make sense is that there really wasn't any multiplayer back then.
Yeah, but
So-
maybe they were thinking to the future.
That would be one hell of a fucking move on Nintendo's part back then. That's crazy. If they did
I'm thinking there has to be more to this than we know.
I think they are going to remaster it. That's the only thing that makes sense. They just didn't announce it.
Well, this is called the HD remaster.
I mean, what's crazy is that this game is going. The remaster is not going to be on Switch, and we just got like even a cloud version, especially with the Resident Evils coming to cloud. Like the fact that it's weird that the remaster's not going to Switch in some kind of form.
Yeah, but
I think the remaster isn't that big of a deal. I think it's just really an up-res because they were talking about it's like 4K. So no one was talking about if it was 64K or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, and that leads into what I was going to say. Like, what could the remaster do on the Switch that it can't do?
Couldn't do. Right.
Exactly,
That never
yeah.
made any sense. That's why when we talked about this like months ago, I was positive that they would get the remaster. I don't understand why you would make a big deal about the original version on NSO when everybody's looking forward to playing this remaster.
Because the NSO one is the only one with online, so that's why now.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense. And maybe this is a timed thing that maybe the online won't hit like an Xbox version until the remaster gets ported to Switch.
Maybe, but I mean, if it's being added to Rare Replay, I'm pretty sure there's no multiplayer games for Rare Replay. I might have to someone might have to correct me because I don't remember.
It's really hard to wrap your head around this because none of it makes any sense at all.
I don't know. They got a GoldenEye 2 working title coming out.
Nobody cares. Everything they've tried to do after 007 was never good. Even when they made the Wii version, it was crap.
Ninja Kitty, that is a remaster. If you're emulating it and up-resing it, that's what a remaster is by definition.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, a remake is when you completely scrap the original.
Yeah, like
code
Final
and you
Fantasy
build up.
VII.
Yeah, or I mean, sometimes a remaster is just a one-to-one, right? Like the Pokemon games or The Last of Us. So it's just a one-to-one. Still a remake, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed the static sprites in like BDSP. It's a good way to look at it. Like, no static sprite. There was a lot done. That's why it always irked me when people were like, "Oh, this is just, it's just a carbon copy." It's not a carbon copy. There's so many things that they changed that it is a different game.
Yeah, I think people now have like higher expectations of what a remake is, and it's only because of Resident Evil 2. I really think that.
And the Crash Bandicoot trilogy.
Yeah, like once they started adding new content, then people were like, "Oh, what is this really a remake?" When it doesn't have new content. So, I don't know.
I know Tony's rapidly looking something up to impress us.
No, I was looking up the GoldenEye stuff. So it is going to be called the HD remaster on both Nintendo Switch Online and Xbox.
Oh.
But the like I said, I don't understand.
Remaster. There's a true remaster because what we're getting with the NSO and what we're getting with the remaster version for Xbox, they're two totally different.
No, it's the same thing is what I'm telling you. That's why I don't understand why it's only coming to NSO. It's not
because the Switch can't do 4K.
It might be coming to NSO as a standalone, not a N64 expansion pack thing. It might be.
No, it is an expansion.
No, it's coming. That's what I'm saying, Bob. It's weird because it's coming as part of the Nintendo Switch Online and
set of games, thing, right?
But it's the HD remaster of the game, and you're not going to be able to buy it standalone. Whereas on Xbox, you'll be able to buy it standalone.
Well, you might be able to buy it standalone. You could buy the Mario Kart DLC standalone.
Well, here's the
Mario Kart DLC is DLC for Mario Kart.
No, you can't. You can't buy it standalone.
Yeah, you can.
The Mario
like the
Kart,
Crossing, the Mario Kart DLC.
Oh, you mean it's separate? You like
separately? If you get the Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay, I thought you meant like just buy the DLC and play the game.
No, they're talking about the deal with having NSO gives it to you for free and then buying it standalone. Okay,
I get what
What's weird is that this doesn't make any sense at all.
because you can get GoldenEye in like 3 different ways on Xbox.
I really think that the only thing that makes any sense is they're doing this just to push more NSO subscriptions.
Yeah.
Just to
I mean,
have
they have
some
to
kind of like
fill out.
ace up their sleeve, right?
There's a lot of games they still haven't had. Like, for some reason, Smash 64 is not on NSO, which is extremely weird. I have no clue why.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to take away from
The
sales
other Smash?
of, yeah.
Sure, but it's like, really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's Nintendo. Nintendo does shit like that. I
Yeah.
mean, it somewhat makes sense, but it doesn't make like.
Well, it might be.
It
a
makes
thing
sense
too
to them
with-
business wise.
It might be an esports thing. They're like, no, if you put it on there, they're gonna want to play it.
Oh, yeah, I could see
Oh,
that.
especially Melee. Think about it. If they put if they had GameCube games on there and they put they wanted to put Melee, Tony's totally right.
Mhm.
People would want to shift towards Melee. Esports.
Well,
wise.
Nintendo, I don't even think Nintendo even cares about that, now that I think about it.
Well,
Because Nintendo hates the Smash community. They try to bury it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It says it's going to get 4K resolution, but you say that Switch can't do 4K, right?
Yeah, the Switch cannot output at 4K, so it doesn't even matter.
Not even the new Switch.
No,
Oh,
at
it's
all.
just the
No.
OLED is just a fancy OLED screen. That's it. They didn't add any. There was something in the that was data mined about it, and I think that's where the rumors came.
Yeah,
for
the DSL,
right.
DSL.
But
and
that
4K.
hasn't. No information has been discussed on that as of yet from Nintendo. So
All right, so it says classic campaign including cheats, 16:9 aspect ratio, 4K resolution support, local split screen for up to 4 players for the Xbox, then obviously online 4-player.
I mean, what if the rumors are true, blinded, and maybe there is something in the works with a 4K, and maybe they're holding off until next year? I mean,
it could be a timed exclusive feature. We often see that.
I mean, the thing is, like, it would make sense, but they never said that in the press release. They just said that the online right now is only on Switch. And Microsoft never made a comment about it. Like, if you go on all their tweets, all the blog posts, they don't mention anything about online being exclusive to Nintendo or it's coming later. They just say,
I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people on Xbox when they go to buy this, and there's no online, and if they don't already know.
I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people anyway once they get their rose-tinted glasses off and realize GoldenEye's aged terribly.
Oh no, the game's still fantastic.
No.
Go to hell, Bob.
It's aged badly, man. It's aged badly.
It hasn't. No, it
The
hasn't.
controls are awful. You'd have to change your controls completely.
Side strafing is it.
Yeah, but you have to hold a button to aim. Like that. That's annoying.
No, you don't need. Oh, you don't hip fire, do you?
Sometimes, but
I never held the button to aim. Only when you're throwing the prox mines, the mines.
Did you get all the cheats unlocked?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
The worst part of the cheats is beating the silo in 3 minutes on super hard difficulty. That one you have to run through quite a bit.
There's a lot of luck in those runs.
Yeah, getting them doors open and blasting all those guys without running out of ammo. Yeah,
I think the hardest one I had difficulty with was facility, because I think that's an under 2 minute clear for the cheat.
It's been such a long time since I did that though.
Yeah, same.
But I think the silo. The only reason I had to do the silo was because back then, you're right. If it didn't have the cheat and you didn't have turbo mode, which I think turbo mode makes it feel it was ahead of its time. We always played with the turbo mode on because it feels like a shooter that you would play now.
Ooh, Gary thinks game is fantastic. Automatically means it's shit. Well, speaking of Gary and his bad takes, we're going to end the show. It's been 4 hours. Again, don't know how we made it to 4 hours. The new format is really kicking our ass because we used to do a 2-hour show. I don't know if Gary's came back. With
It's
a lot of
me.
things to say.
I just don't stop talking.
We had a special guest today, don't forget.
Yeah, we also had a special guest. We're going to have more special guests on in the future if we can. We had 2 special guests. Finbar Saunders is a special guest. He was on for a little bit. We're going to end this stream. We're going to direct you to Gaming with Geeks. because I'm going to be playing a little Elden Ring from scratch. We're going to start all over, boys. We're going to try to do a new build, and hopefully Gary will enjoy us playing. He'll chat with us and tell us why it sucks. Anything you guys want to leave these people with?
I just looked up the remaster. It's not really a big deal. Like, it's really just is an up-res. Like, there's really no reason to put it on Switch. Like, whatever you get on the NSO is going to look like the remaster. So,
oh really?
That's all I got to say.
But
yeah, I just looked it up.
It still sucks though. I don't want NSO. Fuck NSO. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, it's probably a rights thing, or Microsoft just wants to keep it on their system.
Is it a rights thing, do you think?
Maybe it's also Nintendo being like, we don't want to sell an N64 port or a remaster, because it is just really just a basic remaster.
Yeah, an up-res in.
Yeah.
We got to go over there. Rabbit Dude's already waiting. Rabbit Dude's like, where the hell is everybody? You're late for the second stream. All right. Here's the link. Kindly click over, and we'll see you there. Ending this stream. Love, peace, and booty grease. We out this bitch.